Yeah, so Barble, it looks like you would be scribe this week if you're okay with that.
Yeah. Just to let you know ahead of time, I go in for carpal tunnel release on my right hand the 7th of December. So that weekend, um, depends on how I feel as far as whether I'll be here or not. I'll let you know.
Yeah, just let me know. That's fine. Just
Good luck with that.
do a yeah like note in attendance, or just message me, or both.
Yeah, I might be there, but trying to do everything left-handed might be a little hard.
Yeah. So Lokun, you're on quartermaster. This is your first week of the new cycle. And Lokun, you are the previous scribe. Do you want to give us a quick recap of what happened last time?
Yeah, sure. So, session 86, we deliberated on what to do next and decided to head back down to the crypts to speak with Elodie. She requested our aid so she could collect more essence. We left that place with concerns about her growing undead army. We explored deeper into the halls until a piercing wail assaulted us. Banshees. Barbell revealed his holy symbol and turned them. Many fled, only several resisted. Spiritual guardians surrounded Vander, burning the banshees that remained, and my Bigby's hand pummeled and my skeletons volleyed arrows into them. It was a difficult fight. Their wails were inescapable, and we nearly succumbed. But weary, we moved out, leaving behind several banshees still turned by Barbell. We returned to the library to recover and work on researching a means to get to the Shadowfell and how to remove the curse that hung over Isik. Installation of a hollow point in the library to accelerate Chiron's research efforts. We discussed the need to keep the night weather technology protected and considered our options. The Warforge, can they be trusted? We just recently met them, but they seem to be open with us thus far. The Queen of Blades, we must lift a curse in order for her and her warriors to roam freely in Isik again. The Shadow Dragon, she probably would get bored down there. The Phoenix Guild, they also know how to travel between planes, but do we trust them? They are a political institution that is ruled by power. But I also will add that we also know that they are kind of an organization that um, tries to stop bad things from happening. Is that correct, Lou?
Uh,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry, I missed that last part. What did you say?
Uh, Phoenix Phoenix Guild is are they? We know them to be a good force, or whatever. We'll figure it out later. And then we heard report from Vander's church that forces were moving into Isik. They will arrive soon. We must act quickly.
Right, thank you for that recap. So, it is currently the the 82nd of autumn at 4 p.m. And we'll pick up where we left off. I'm actually in a new location now, so I'm still trying to make sure everything is settled here. But yeah, we're in the base, kind of in the laboratory area. Let's see, where is that?
Barbara will ask Bokun, uh, can we teleport that pedestal out of here?
Possibly.
What is this night weather technology you speak of?
The stuff in the vault. The stuff to well, I guess some of it is here in the library now, right? Lou?
Did you
The
bring
hollow
any of
points?
it here? I think you were planning to. Did we actually do that?
I thought we brought up one
Oh, okay.
to put a hollow
And
point
we,
up in the library.
we installed it. Yeah. So maybe we should have an icon here or something. Or wherever we want to put it. Maybe it's in the library here.
I thought we were still researching that. Sorry, I think I'm getting my dates mixed up here. Did we finish that research project as to how to do the ritual?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah,
Or-
ritual to connect teleportation to Hollow Point. That was in Maho.
Oh, okay, so you did finish.
All I know is I spent 400 Maho and Chiron spent 100 Maho of arcane components to build something. So I hope we have it. But
Alright, I just wasn't sure if you had finished that research project, but it sounds like you did. So I guess where would you have set it up in the lab?
probably in a safe corner. Either here or even inside the library itself. I think even in the library, maybe.
Alright, yeah, let me put an icon down if that's all.
Yeah, like in the center spot in the library looks like a better spot.
Yeah.
There's only one door gotta be protected from.
Let's see, where is the pedestal? Alright, so you have a pedestal that you set up in the library. Now, we didn't make the teleportation circle yet, though, right?
No, I don't think so. Did we?
I don't believe
Nope.
I
so.
don't think so.
I don't think that
Just
was
the pedestal.
researched. But yeah, I will place the pedestal there. And Chiron would be very happy about that. Let me just...
Yeah, you gave me 2 teleportations. Yeah, so we do have the ritual to connect the teleportation to Hollow Point. So we have the ritual to install the Hollow Point, connect teleportation to it, and then I have 2 symbols, one for the Central Railway and one for the Desert City. There we go. I found it.
Well, those were teleportation circles, though. Those weren't the Hollow Point ones, right? That was for your spell,
That's for the
teleportation
spell.
circle.
I understand that. So that's why I said in the beginning, ritual to install the Hollow Point, ritual to connect teleportation, right?
Okay.
And then we got 2 symbols. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just those teleportation symbols have nothing to do with the Hollow Points. Those are a completely different thing. The Hollow Points have their own teleportation system, which I think one of them was in the Halls of Tarsus, and the other one was in the Alcavian Labs, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So the teleportation circles, those are for your spell, but yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, I can't from the Hollow Point teleportation teleport to these circles.
No, those are just for your spell. The Hollow Point teleportation is a completely different system from Circle of Teleportation.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Circle of Teleportation, like if you read the spell, it talks about how those circles work, but those are a completely different thing. So to use those, you have to access a Hollow Point, and then you can use that. If it's connected to a teleporter, you can use that to go to one of the other teleporters, if that makes sense.
Okay, so only Hollow Point to Hollow Point is what you're basically saying.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the teleportation circles can go to other teleportation circles, but that's, yeah, like I said, a different thing. But anyway, so yeah, you are all in the library, and apparently there is a force coming from the capital, though you're not sure when they're going to arrive, if they're here, or what any of that is about. So I guess at this point you just have time to either work on projects or do something else. So yeah, what do you all want to do?
The reason I asked Lokun if it could be teleported is if we can teleport that out of there to someplace safer.
You mean the stone platform, the gateway?
Yeah. Is it too
It's
big?
pretty large. I'm not sure that would work with a teleportation spell. I mean, you could try something, but I don't think teleport works with objects that big.
Okay.
It might require some looking into, but I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. You're not sure how the dwarves put it in there in the first place.
Probably piece by piece.
Yeah, it's possible.
Dwarves, man.
So yeah, what do you guys want to do?
So if that's not possible, then Barbara would like to enlist Tiny and Nimnod's help to trap and arcane lock and put some wards and stuff on the vault.
The vault door itself.
The vault door itself and the platform.
All right. Well, the platform isn't. I don't think you can lock that. It doesn't have a gate. It's just a platform.
Well, not locked, but that would be trapped.
All right, but yeah, you can. I mean, it won't be as strong as the original spell that sealed the vault, but you can certainly close it and lock it. That would at least.
Yeah, so I figured if we dual arcane locked it, like a Tiny did one, I did one, and make it impossible. Limit the amount of people who can go in, type thing.
Well, it could still be dispelled, and knock could still be used to get through it, I believe.
Yeah, but they'd have to use two spells for two different arcane locks, so they'd have to do it twice. It's a deterrent, is all.
All right. So sure, we can say that you. Now, I'm not sure if you can stack arcane locks like that, though. I think you can only have one effect of a spell on something, so you might only be able to do one. But you can certainly lock it up, and that should at least slow anyone down who's trying to get into it, and prevent them if they don't have the correct magic.
Okay.
So we can say you went back down and did that at some point, since you do have a pathway down there now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not the most secure, but at least it's some security. So yeah, what do you want to do? What else I should say?
Did you guys want to go talk to the queen?
That and the Warforged. We got to do something because these forces coming here, they'll just destroy the undead. They'll try to anyway.
Yeah,
And, some of these undead are not bad. They're not evil. They're not. They just happen to get caught.
yeah. I think
Well, that's subject.
I think we need to hold a small council with all these different parties and at least give them warning of what's coming this way.
Yeah.
Hold a council with the Shadow Dragon, the Queen. I mean, actually, I don't think they have met the Warforged yet. Oh, maybe we meet with those guys separately.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as you know,
the Warforged wouldn't mind one way or the other probably about the undead, as long as they're left alone.
But I think they would mind the presence of all these forces coming in.
Yeah, they would.
They are protecting their own hollow point on their side.
Yeah, you also know that they don't have a strong love for the dwarves because of some past experiences.
Yep.
What is the history of Isaac? I personally don't know it.
Of what?
Of Isaac? Like, what happened to the city?
Do
we know?
I think
You would know about now.
Yeah, I think Lokun, I assume, would tell you if you asked him.
Yeah, I'll ask because I have nothing. I know nothing.
I guess your character might already know, because you do have religion, right?
Trained? No, I don't
Oh.
think so.
But he has religion, but like, I mean, he was sent all the way over here. Wouldn't he have gotten like a little debriefing?
I wasn't sent here. I was sent to.
Yeah, he wasn't actually
Char.
sent here. He was sent to look for the priest, but I'll say most of the Empire knows a little bit about it. He probably doesn't know as much as you all know. Like, he probably knows the basics, which is that some sort of force wreaked havoc on the city about 100 years ago, and a huge horde of undead seemed to just show up out of nowhere and like drive everyone out and kill most of them. No one really knows exactly what happened, but those who escaped did so kind of just barely, and don't know too much about why it happened, or yeah, like what what the solution to it would be. The Empire has just sort of left it alone because they didn't really have the forces to take it back, and at the time were kind of at war, so it just kind of sat there for 100 years,
Okay,
and
but
people
this is
stayed away from it.
technically Empire territory, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything up to the desert is supposed to be Teruvian, although the Nazic Empire would contest that. But yeah, so
Okay.
far there hasn't been too many border disputes. And yeah, that technically is supposed to be part of the Empire.
And we fill you in on the rest of it that we know now, as far as the Shadow Lord was the one who cast the spell that caused it.
Oh,
Yeah, so apparently uh, the Shadow Lord Malik, one of two Shadow Lords, caused this to happen a long time ago. What exactly would you tell him? Because I don't want to give away anything that you guys wouldn't know.
I'm just eating dinner right now, but I would just tell him everything I know. That we think the timing of the curse happened more recently, not ancient, right?
Yeah, it was in this cycle, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
And you think it has something to do with those altars?
No, the altars were brought in later. The altars were brought in by the Ifrit to control the
Yeah,
undead.
to try to, yeah, exactly, control the undead that had arisen. Do you know, I forget, did I tell you why the Shadow Lord did this? Did you ever find out why the ritual happened? Like what he was trying to do?
Something about to get the power to use the pedestal.
Yeah, so he was pulling life energy in from the whole city to make these strange shadow crystals, or soul crystals, some call them. Basically, kind of a weird artifact based off of technology from Night Weather that could power artifacts, but instead of using arcane energy, it used life energy, which required a lot of people to die. So that's why there's so many ghouls, because basically everyone, or a lot of the people who were drained of their energy, turned into undead. Some of which kept their sanity, some of which did not.
okay.
Right. This is some of the same technology that the Rune Lords had to power some of their machinery, which is one of the things that we're at odds about in Dwarven Empire.
Yeah, they had some ancient artifacts from Night Weather and didn't have a way of powering it. So they, at one point, employed the Shadow Lord's help, but then that kind of fell apart. But that was last cycle. Malik is more the current cycle.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so the group kind of figured out that Malik had come back through Lord Blackwater and defeated him. But I think you knew that already, right?
Ah, good job, get it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically
Okay.
what had happened.
All right.
So
I think I'm
now,
caught up to speed.
yeah. So now the undead continue to roam, but yeah, I think there's a fear that if the Empire comes, they'll just try to destroy them. You guys have sort of made allies with a bunch of them.
Well, that would make sense.
And of course, they were saying, you want to make sure that platform doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Now, you had asked me something about the Phoenix Guild, Lokun. Did you think they were trustworthy?
Yeah. Well, this is what I know: is that they're an organization that is ruled by power and wealth, or
Yeah.
has power and wealth influences. But you also said that they kind of had a mission to eradicate something, or I don't know,
So,
stop it from happening. I don't know.
I mean, the Phoenix Guild are sort of the authority on magic within the Teruvian Empire. They have been tasked with study and teaching, as well as the control of magic forces. So they have sects that are bound to hunt down wizards and magic users, arcanists they deem to be dangerous, and they just seem a little bit unfair in who they deem to be dangerous and who they allow to control magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little one-sided.
I
Yeah.
mean, go ahead.
I feel like Lo Kun would not be really cool with just handing this stuff over to that kind of organization.
Yeah, because that's probably who would end up with it if the Empire took control of this place. I mean, I guess Lo Kun is kind of used to corruption coming from the Nazic Empire, but that doesn't necessarily mean he likes it. Like, that wouldn't surprise you that the Phoenix Guild isn't completely above board. That's
Yeah,
how a lot
exactly.
of the... Yeah.
And I would say that not really none of these organizations probably can be trusted.
Yeah.
Well, what about Galen here? He seems to be doing better, and he doesn't seem to be a part of the any organizations.
Who?
Galen.
Galen?
Who? Sorry.
Galen Blackwater.
Yeah, Blackwater.
Oh. Galen. Yeah, I guess so, but he was just under the influence of a Shadow Lord. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
mean,
he's
yeah.
cured now,
He's
right?
he's doing better. He's still recovering from his experience. But yeah. I mean, what do you mean? What about him? Like, what would he do?
Can't we keep it like at his place
What the?
with his permission? The things that we tried to protect.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you don't know how
Possibly.
secure that would be.
But we don't know how to move it.
Yeah, and of
That's
course
true.
there's that.
Yeah, that is a problem. Well, how heavy is it, or what is it? I don't know. What
It is
It's a huge stone platform.
yeah. It's
a giant stone platform.
it's about a like I'd say like about a 10-foot radius of stone, like a stone disc with a large pillar on top of it. That kind of forms an archway. I guess it wouldn't be a pillar; it'd be like an arch. And there's a bunch of little slots in it that one could insert arcane gems or soul stones to power it. It seems like it needs a lot of them. Because right now it is not powered. And I don't think any of you have put any of the soul stones into it.
No. And I would say though, so I think we just need to talk to everybody.
Alright, well, who do you want to talk to first?
We'd like to call council between us and the Queen and the Shadow Dragon first, maybe?
Alright, now I think you set something up for them to speak already, didn't you? Or am I off base with that?
Yeah, we did, but it might have happened already without us even being there, because they just,
Okay, so you want to set up another meeting with them.
Sure, if the calendar is clear.
Yeah, with us there, so we can talk.
Alright, sure. So it would probably have to happen in the Sword Queen's room, because she can't leave. But, let's see. You can go speak to the dragon. That's fine. His people permit you now. So you go up to the keep. Let's see. Going up above ground. It's getting kind of late, so this is about the time you'd want to talk to her anyway. You head over to the tower. When the Drake see you, one of them starts screeching, and the large dragon comes flying down, landing with a huge, resounding thud on the ground. And where is she? The Shadow Dragon Xanthanor, or Zana. And she would say, welcome back, Siegebreakers. I assume you've come to my doorstep to speak with me of something.
Indeed, we have urgent news. We need to warn you about some forces that are coming inbound. They should be here
She
in some,
narrows.
I don't know.
She kind of narrows her eyes. She says, allies of the Shadow Lord.
No, not that. But people.
The Empire.
The Empire.
She says, oh, the Teruvians? I thought they had given up this city. Well, what business do they have here?
I believe they wish to reclaim what was once theirs.
She
Indeed.
growls. She says, humans.
Or I guess technically still is.
What sort of forces do they have? Do they have basic armies or something more dangerous, like spellcasters and mercenaries? How do they plan to take the keep from me?
We are unaware of what forces they lead. Come tomorrow, we could perhaps get an idea.
Indeed.
She says, do you know how long it is till they arrive?
Depends on your definition of soon. How soon is soon?
I wonder if it's time
You
for
could
me to...
maybe fly out this evening and scout, see how far they are. I'm sure they're not trying to hide their whereabouts.
Maybe not. Though, if they do have wizards with them, that could be dangerous. Perhaps it is time for me to leave Isik and find a new place to stay. I don't know if I will be able to stop the large combined forces of the Teruvian Empire.
How do you feel? How are you going to move your horde?
It will not be easy, but I can do it. It will just take time, and I would have to find a new lair. Probably somewhere within the mountains north of here.
Lokun taps his chin, thinking about the heavy hollow point equipment that he can't move, and wondering if the Shadow Dragon can, if she can haul all her other stuff, if she can get this out of here too.
She says, "Why do you?"
I'll ask that. Yeah.
Had you told her about the platform?
She saw it. She opened the vault with us, didn't she?
Yes, that's right. I think she was down there with you. So she says, biggest issue with that is I don't know if I have enough room down there to take on my full size. And in my human form, there's no way I could move something that large.
Yeah.
She says, so unfortunately, I don't think I can help you with that.
How far down would I estimate that vault to be underground or above ground?
So you'd have to go through the under caves. Like if you were digging directly down to it, you have to figure out what the corresponding underground point would be. Give me a survival check, DC 18.
And I'll ponder that aloud so somebody else can help me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd ponder as well. I mean, being a dwarf,
Anyone
advantage or anything?
Anyone can roll it. Dwarves have stone cunning, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll give you advantage on that if
Nice.
you're good at plotting underground points.
Yeah, like this subterranean architecture they specialize. You can good knowledge on.
Exactly.
Not bad. 16.
So you would guess it's probably at least 100 feet down. Probably through a lot of rock. So not something that you can... Or go ahead.
Yep. not something I could dig through, is what you're going to add.
Yeah, because you know that some of those pits under the keep connect to the under caves, and those are about like almost 100 feet of going down, and that's
And
yeah, close to the depth you need to be at.
did the vault itself look like it could accommodate a dragon?
The inside,
Yeah.
it would be a tight squeeze, but maybe she might be able to fit in there with it all emptied out.
Okay. And because my idea is, what happens if you dimension door somebody who's holding something like, I don't know, the hollow point?
I thought you can only carry a certain amount of weight with Dimension Door.
Yeah, and honestly, like, even though she's a dragon, I don't know if she could lift up a stone thing that big, because that's like tons and tons of weight. But
Well, she probably could carry a hollow point.
oh
so
yeah, she
that
could definitely do a hollow point though. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is, could I dimension door, get her down there, let her grow to a dragon inside the vault, hold the platform, and I dimension her door her upwards.
Well, like pick up a hollow point or the platform, because the hollow point's much
Or
smaller.
the platform, or whatever is feasible. Basically, whatever is feasible. But you get the idea. I'm trying to transport large goods.
So are you gonna mention this to her?
Yeah, I will. I am just wondering I'm planning all these ideas out aloud, so everybody could comment
So
on how stupid they might be or whatever.
she says, "You wish me to go into a tight space underground, then you're going to teleport me back to the surface? Are you sure I wouldn't get
Indeed.
stuck in a wall or in the ground somewhere?"
No, I would have to make the calculations, but yes, it does definitely has its dangers.
Give me a persuasion check, 18.
And
I mean, I'm not
what I'm
even fully
thinking about
myself.
also is the Warforged Dreadnought.
Oh, the big Warforged construct.
Yeah.
Demi Prime.
Demi Prime. Yeah. I know what type of strength she would have.
Honestly, she would probably have more strength than the dragon. And she might be able to excavate with all her people a lot easier.
Not within the time before forces get here, probably.
Yeah, that's that again is the issue, time. But she'd probably be stronger than the dragon.
So if we
Okay.
get her down there, she's a little bit smaller than the dragon as well, I think, isn't she?
You would then have to tell the Warforged about that platform, because you haven't told them yet.
That's
Well, that's
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah.
that's
I
part of
just
our
asked.
plan now. Yeah.
So
Uh,
at this point, Xanthanor would say, well, as I said, these humans seem like they bring trouble. I don't know if I want to stay in Issyk if I'm going to have to deal with the Empire.
we were hoping to be able to enlist your aid somehow, but I understand.
So when you say that, she says, aid, what do you mean?
I do not want these forces. Well, at least I do not want them to get their hands on that technology. And I also do not want them to wipe out the folk that have the good spirits that still wander these ruins.
So, what were you suggesting? My aid, like assisting the undead, the Sword Queen.
The Queen is one option. The other option was to help us get this thing out of here, but I think the logistics of that are too challenging.
Give me a persuasion check, DC 12.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not even sure how she would help, but I don't know.
All right. So she says, well, maybe. So these sword race, you think that they will fight against the Teruvians when they get here?
I I don't think they're much of a match. I hope they would be able to hide, probably, at that point. So I don't know. I don't know how their forces number, and if we could perhaps steer them away or whatever. I have no idea. We probably need more intel.
I
I would
might.
prefer if innocent conscripts didn't die.
Agreed.
She says maybe you can convince them to leave Isaac.
If I had political influence, perhaps, but
She says, well, if the sword wraiths are going to make a stand against the humans, perhaps with my help we could be victorious in driving them back. Sadly, I think that the only way the humans are going to respect our territory is through force and through overwhelming losses of their armies.
Yeah.
He says,
have you
Okay.
tried negotiation? These are a lot of assumptions being made.
She says, I have not, but I've never known humans to be willing to negotiate with dragons.
And the
Oh.
they're the first dragon I've seen.
Negotiate with you more than they would all the undead, like the Ipwood and stuff.
Maybe. Perhaps I could be used as a
Turn.
yeah, as a deterrent or a threat. Intimidation factor, she says. But, alright, you make some good points. Maybe I will stay for now. See what I can do to help with the cause. Are there any other allies in this fight against these Teruvians?
You're the first we have spoken to. We need to speak to the queen next, and I'll point to Nimble. His
Oh, yeah, I
his
forgot
people.
Nimble was here.
Yeah, I'll point
Nimble's
to him.
amazed. I think I don't know if he's met the dragon before. It's like, oh my god.
Well, I'll let the dragon know the existence of the Warforged and point in the direction where they came from, and mention where I don't know they came from a church or something located to the
Yes,
west.
I'm.
Yeah,
I
the
am.
vault's underneath the church.
I am familiar with the cathedral. I didn't know there was a vault underneath it, but I did see that caved-in stairwell as I'd visited it a few times. That's interesting. Perhaps I should speak
So
with
we're
this
gonna talk to
Demi
everybody.
Prime.
Yeah, we can arrange a meeting with you two if you wish.
I do.
Okay.
I'm not very. I'm not very learned on Warforged or any of their customs. They seem like a very interesting people. I've never known constructs to be anything other than guardians or stewards of their masters. Nimble says it's quite common of a mistake people make about us, but we are very much like other humanoids, except maybe a little bit less compulsive. He says, and I'm sure Demi Prime would be happy to speak to you, O great Xanthanor. She smiles and says, I like this one. Very well. If you can set up a meeting, I shall speak with this Demi Prime.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll go to the queen next, unless anybody else has something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Lou, but then the dwarves used some sort of like necromantic abilities to create the Warforged to begin with. They used like the soul crystals.
No, the Warforged were created using soul forging, which is not the same thing as soul crystals. The people of the Therian Empire knew techniques to make Warforged, something that's been lost in this cycle. So there were actually quite a few that existed, and actually other societies back then knew how to make them too, as well as their own people learning to replicate themselves and make more.
Right, they were drawing souls though from like the pool or whatever you want to call it.
No, it didn't have anything to do with life stealing. It was something different. So you don't need to kill people to make Warforged. Soul forging is a different practice. It doesn't create. It doesn't require already living life force. More just.
That's what I thought it was. They were drawing from the ether from already dead people, but you know where they go.
More just arcane and magic in general. They were drawing from the same place, like would it be like how they were making the demis, just using magical energy to create artificial intelligence. But it's a little bit more complex than the demis because these Warforged actually have very, very humanoid like qualities, as they are humanoids.
Right. They became Symphony.
It's just their culture in general. At least, do you have history?
I do not trained.
All right. Well, if you're interested in the culture of the Warforged from last cycle, it'd probably be a history check DC 16. It's kind of obscure, but someone might know something about it.
I'm trained in history. I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Barbella did not really study that, and apparently neither did Vander. So yeah,
I have no idea what's going on.
you're not sure about Warforged culture from back then. But apparently they were. Oh, apparently Lokun knows. So I guess yeah, Lokun will tell you some stuff he's read. So yeah, a lot of time they were used as workers for the Therian Empire, like huge construction projects. Slaves might not be the exact term, but possibly like a little bit of a slavery there, as they were still kind of taken care of. But yeah, they didn't really. I guess that would be slavery.
They were considered machines.
Yeah, exactly. They were like it was kind of like a political thing where they were more seen as like, yeah, almost like machines rather than actual people, even though they had the intelligence of humanoids, which caused a lot of problems within the Therian Empire. So the Warforged, a lot of them kind of struck out on their own and formed their own small societies. And unfortunately, many of them were lost in the Cataclysm, so only a few handfuls of them are still around from that cycle. Most of them not living within any of the empires, just kind of living on their own, doing whatever they're doing.
Right.
Lokun says.
Good to know. I mean, yeah, that's everything. But I think it's time we don't have much time before the forces arrive. I think we need to keep moving and let everybody know.
Indeed. Let me know what the other two factions wish to do. But I am willing to meet with them and speak with them. I assume we're going to have to go to the Sword Queen's room again.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll let you know. We'll ping you.
Right. So she takes off, flying back up to her tower.
I'll ask Nimble. Do you have a quick way of relaying messages to your Demi Prime?
So he's kind of still watching the dragon, kind of in awe. He says, "I've never seen a creature, or at least a fleshling creature, that big." My apologies.
Neither have I, Nimble. Neither have I.
But my apologies, Lokun. You asking if I could speak with my queen?
Yes, indeed.
He says yes. In fact, she gave me several sending stones, which I've been using to give her updates.
I'll let her update her on that if she would like to meet with the dragon.
One moment, he says,
Wait,
taking out
Nimble, I thought you were the representative of your people.
Says I'm an ambassador, but I'm not their leader. I'm a diplomat.
We need the decision makers all in one room.
So he takes out a sending stone, kind of puts it to his forehead as he thinks for a moment, and he says, "Demi Prime is more than willing to meet with Xanthanor as well as the Queen of Blades. In fact, she's interested in speaking with the different factions about what is to come. I've told her about the humans and the Empire encroaching on our lands."
Okay. Well, tell her we'll update her shortly, but we gotta speak to one of the other factions, and then maybe we can arrange such a council.
He nods and says, "I have one more sending stone left for today, so I will save that one for the final message."
Indeed. All right, we'll hurry down to the queen.
Alright, so you're going to see... what's her name? Dinara. Heading back underground. Travel, travel, travel. Illithid territory still seems abandoned for whatever reason.
Whoa.
So you go through there.
Oh, and I have a theory. Everybody.
Again,
So-
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, last time, Lou kind of revealed that the forces would only. It's likely they're coming this way because they got news that the undead have been cleared. And my theory is that Elodie is working for the Empire.
Bum, bum,
Or was that what you revealed?
That's probably a pretty good theory. Could be.
Certainly possible.
Let's wait till the Crimson Blade hears about her. No,
It's true. She doesn't have a license.
and she's practicing necromancy.
Orphan mages. Why can't I find... Oh, here it is. It's like fountain tunnels. Boop.
Like, I'm all for licensing mages.
Alright, so you are permitted access to the Queen's chambers. Going inside... Oh, you got it already. You find her with several of her soldiers talking to them. Something seems to be up. She says, Siegebreakers, welcome. Your timing is interesting. I've just received word that some humans were spotted in the southern parts of the city. Do you know
They're
anything
here already.
about this?
Shit.
Oh my god.
Hello, I believe this is the first time we're meeting.
She says, oh, my apologies. She says, I am Queen Dinara, the ruler of the Sword Wraiths, the old guard of the Ivaldi family. She says, it's good to meet you.
Queen Dinara, I'm Vander Goldfinch. It's a pleasure as of mine.
This is Goldfinch. Why does that name seem familiar?
Perhaps you knew of my grandfather.
She says, well, I was living about 100 years ago, so I don't know if your grandfather would have been alive back then. Possibly your
Well,
great-grandfather. Are you a noble
perhaps.
family?
Yes, we're fairly new in the Turugian Empire.
I see. As well, it's good to meet you. But what brings the Siegebreakers here?
Well, it was to give you news of what you've already known now. That forces were coming in. And this is drawing concern for us. One is we don't want the stuff in the vault to end up in their hands. And then two is that we're worried for your own sakes, what they would do if they came in here. What are your plans? Do you have a means to go into hiding or something while they're here?
Now, I would like to add, I have concerns for the innocent conscripts.
She says, wait, when you say forces, my people only saw a small scouting party. We tried to capture them and detain them, but they seemed quite powerful. Are these the Empire forces you speak of? It seemed more like almost like an adventuring group like yourselves.
We believe the Empire has heroes like ourselves under their employ.
I see.
Whether they were independent is definitely a possibility, but we think the timing to be too coincidental. We believe they work for the Empire. That's my suspicion right now.
So she says, so the Empire is coming here then.
I believe so.
Hmm.
That's our intel, right? I'm not getting it wrong.
Yeah, that's what the church had said.
Okay.
Says, well, I'm assuming they are coming here to try to reclaim Issac. She says,
Perhaps.
technically, my family should still be the rightful ruling family of this place, but I doubt they'll see it that way. What do you
We doubt.
what do you suggest? I assume you came here with an idea.
Do you have
Well,
any living family members, my queen? Queen Daenerys?
She says, no, my family was killed, destroyed by the ritual, as is most people of Issac
My condolences.
as well. I've had time to get over it, but thank you.
you hmm. You say you have righteous claim on this, and I totally agree. But do you have any ways that might convince them of this?
She says, I doubt it. I don't think they're going to listen to someone who is like me, an undead. I certainly could try. Maybe with the group's help, you could convince them that I'm someone who could be trusted.
The only fear is that if it goes wrong, then we're in a worse. We might be finding ourselves in a worse position if they just had not known that you existed at all.
She says, well, what would you have us do?
Yeah. Do you have a means of hiding?
Well, she says possibly. I mean, we could hide. I mean, I can't leave this place, but we are pretty deep underneath the ground. They might not find us down here.
It is possible.
I suppose I could pull all of my soldiers back down here. Though, she says that I feel that I have a claim on this. Again, I don't feel like I should have to hide. This is my home.
Right.
I agree. We want to hold a council with you and the other factions. I'll point up towards the keep where Dragon is, and then I'll point towards Nimble. Also, perhaps his faction could be enlisted to support, preventing them from finding the secrets below Issac.
Nimble once again seems very excited. He says, I've never seen someone made of light before. An ethereal being, I believe they're called. And she smiles and says, it is good to meet you, Warforged. I do know of your kind, though you're only the second I've met of the Warforged peoples. And he says,
You know what? Then what about if the Warforged claim this city?
Nimble would say, what claim would we have over this place? I mean, I know that our...
Live here. Your place of birth, the vault is here. Why wouldn't you want the town above it?
Well, I know that Demi Prime wishes to keep the cathedral and the areas below it so we can do our forging in peace, possibly create more of our Warforged peoples, but we have no need of large swaths of land, as we do not need to eat and do not need to worry about many of the bodily functions that you fleshlings need. Or wait, you told him not to say fleshlings, right?
Yeah.
All right, so he'll say that your people need. He's trying to get better at that.
Okay.
I can certainly suggest it to her, but I think the Warforged would rather have peace if we can help it. Trading partners would be valuable, especially with all the metals we'll need.
Yeah, but if they claim the city above you, sooner or later, the greed, they would want what's below.
Give me a persuasion check. Say DC 14.
And then we need you to try to do some persuasion too.
Some persuasion. Well, I don't know what's going on, so.
Marvel is pretty good actually. 23, not bad.
So he'll nod. He'll say, "Well, it is true. I've known the humanoid or what would he say? He says, I know the dwarves were driven by greed, quite a bit of greed. So I wouldn't be surprised if the humans are the same way. Although humans did exist within our time, some even lived within our empire. Perhaps you're right. I'll have to speak to my queen about this.
Yeah, it's not all people are driven by greed, but a lot of politics is driven by greed.
Says I can definitely agree with that. I've read the history of many of the empires, read about the different factions and interactions in the games that the leadership plays against each other, the political games. Give me another persuasion check, DC 10.
Well, Nimble, here in the Teruvian Empire, we have two sorts of councils. We have the noble council, and then we have the council of the people. They balance each other out to prevent this greed.
He says, So the nobles, like your primes, the ones who lead your civilization.
I do not know what this prime is.
He says, well,
Like their king.
our people have a leader known as Demi Prime. She is a magical intelligence created by the dwarves that evolved quite a bit from her original creation purposes. And we basically trust her to make all the decisions, as she is very wise and very learned. Much more than any one of the Warforged within our society.
Then yes, there's 12 noblemen that we entrust the empire to, along with a guild of artisans to keep them in line.
And these
You'll see.
Oh, go ahead.
Loku will scoff at the notion and be like, "Ha, you're green as summer boy if you think that works."
Yeah, exactly.
It's worked so far.
Really?
So Nimble kind of looks back and forth, confused a little. He says, I've certainly read of disagreements between the nobles and the people of the empire throughout the cycles, but this is all very interesting information. I appreciate it. And he looks and smiles at you, Vander.
If the nobles shared the power with the people, why are the nobles all living in all those big old houses and the people are begging for scraps?
I didn't say they shared power. I
Look,
said that the
it's,
guild of laborers
Proletariat wizard.
keep them in,
Bringing
keep
it to the
them from
bourgeoisie.
expanding.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I had. I was just kind of joking around.
Yeah.
But I'll ask the queen though. So can we hold this council? We'll probably have to hold it here because, well, you can't go over there.
Says yes. I would be happy to have the Warforged here as well as the dragon. I spoke to her yesterday. She seemed quite agreeable. A lot nicer than I was expecting.
Yup, she knows. She's pretty smart. So All right.
Give me a insight check, DC 14. Anyone can roll this.
Oh. Anybody can roll this. The barbell.
Oh, looks like
Ooh,
everyone's
got it.
gotten it. So you get all three of you get the feeling of maybe a bit of a romantic admiration in her voice as she says that.
Ooh.
But anyway, yeah, you would just kind of note that as she says that.
Man. Is
yeah.
is Barrett in the background getting jealous?
Maybe Barrett went off to go gamble again. He's
Okay.
he's
He's already moved on to the next game.
I guess his character was here for a while. You would have found out that the issues he was having actually resolved, and he kind of gained a bit of an ethereal power from them. the ability to kind
wow.
of become semi-ethereal a limited number of times a day.
Yeah,
That's
he has
cool.
shadow abilities anyway, so
Yeah, kind of went with the abilities he already had. But sorry, so yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
I forget. But yeah, we'll just hold council with those guys.
She says, yeah,
Or make a ring.
just let me know when I should expect them all. I'll make sure I have everything fixed up a bit. Maybe I could ask these Warforged if they could help me fix these tunnels that are falling apart. Not something
I
that.
think they,
Go ahead.
I think they did. They would be happy to lend a hand.
Says, yeah, it's not something we ethereal creatures can do. And she looks to Nimble. And he says, we are masters of crafting, and we learned our techniques from the best, even if they did enslave us. We would.
you're
She
welcome.
says, You're welcome. She says, I would be happy to ask or ask Demi Prime on your behalf. And she says, thank you,
Now,
Nimble.
she'll be here soon. How much time do you need to clean this place up and get ready?
And she says, well, my chambers are as ready as they'll ever be. But as for the fixing of the halls outside, that'll probably take some time. I'll discuss it with this Demi Prime when we meet. Is there anything I need to prepare for about her? Anything special to accommodate her?
I'll just divulge everything I know about Demi Prime, and I'll turn to Nimble. Any recommendations to accommodate your Prime leader?
She says, no, she should be fine. She'll probably be taking on her warrior form rather than her juggernaut form. So she should be able to fit down here fairly easily.
Okay. All right, cool.
Give me an insight check on that, Locoon. Or I'll say, give me Arcana, DC 18. Anyone can make this roll.
Yeah.
You might think of something. Okay.
I'm not trained, but I'll try it.
Ooh.
Oh, close.
So close. All right. So anything else?
No, not for me.
All right. So you take your leave of the sword wraiths. What do you want to do?
We're just gonna go make the rounds and get everybody collected here.
What do you mean collected?
Well, the council.
Oh,
That's what
like
we're trying to do. We're trying to get them all in the same room. Yeah.
So go speak to the Warforged now.
Yeah, and the queen and just get them to come down there as soon as possible. I don't know, like an hour or something.
All right. Well, you just spoke to the queen. She seems like she's up for it.
We'll let her know that we'll try to arrange it to happen as soon as possible. So probably in an hour.
All right. She would tell you, just in case you're interested, that the scouts they found, or that they saw, were over on the east side of town, southeast. Kind of in that area down there.
Okay. Oh, so maybe we should deal with that first? I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
That's up to you.
No, I think we should have the meeting going on. Then,
Okay.
like when we leave the Warforged, maybe we'll down there and take a look.
Well, what I can do is let's get the meeting going, and even while I'm in the meeting, I can send out Arcane Eye to do my own spying and see what's going on.
Yeah, that would work.
Okay.
All right. So you head over to the cathedral, moving across town. Check something. So Barbar.
Never did find out who was on the island.
That's true. You never found out what was going on with that island.
Yeah.
But Barble, as you're going, you notice something odd to the south, kind of near where Zutan's area is. At first, you thought it may have just been a ghoul, but you kind of take a closer look and you think you might be like someone might be watching the group. You're not sure who it is. You believe it might be some like a human or humanoid
Does
anyway.
Abigail notice it too?
Oh, what's her passive?
I don't think it's very high. I think it's like 11 or something.
Oh, okay. If she's a hunter.
Well, I mentioned we're being watched. I do believe.
Oh no, her passive is 15, I think.
15.
Yeah,
No,
15.
she did not notice it.
Well, I'll be like, what do you guys think we should do about this? I think we should nip the in the bud. I don't want them to see us traveling and expose the Warforged either.
Well, they've yet to attack us.
So
Shall we
you
try
don't
speaking to them?
you don't see them anymore, but you think they were in that area last you saw them, Barble.
Right. Yeah, I just, like I said, I make mention of it, and then I keep a more watchful eye, I guess, as we go.
Abigail would say, "Well, if they were there, they're going to leave tracks. So it is a way, or they can be found if we want to spend time looking for them."
I think so.
Well, we need to set up the meeting and then go look for them.
She
Do you think
nods.
they stop watching us? If we're being watched, then they're gonna watch us go into this cathedral,
She says, "Well,
and then they're gonna see Warforged come out.
curious who these people are. If these are Empire spies or maybe someone else. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Empire, though." She says, "Well, I offer you my skills as a tracker. Whether we do it now or later is up to you, though. Yeah, I'll leave that up to you. Their footprints will still be there as long as we don't take too long."
I guess we could just we could send well, shoot,
Abigail?
the Warport that's with us to his prime and set the meeting up that way while we go track.
Nimble says,
Oh.
I can go speak to Demi if that's what you wish.
I think so. I think we gotta attend to this matter that just popped up.
He says, Barble, do you have the sending spell?
Not prepared.
Says, well, then I'll just look forward to seeing you all later once you finish with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is Vander saying anything about any of this?
No, I don't really have anything to say because I don't know what's going on with the Warforged.
The Warforged are a faction that were in existence in a vault underneath Isik, but they recently came out after the Shadow Lord was defeated. They were kind of in hiding down there. They existed back from the time of the Therian Empire, so they kind of had sealed themselves away for a long time. You're not sure why they suddenly popped out. I don't think Demi Prime mentioned it or told you anything about why they suddenly opened the vaults, because the timing does seem interesting since it happened just when the Shadow Lord.
She told us she felt the.
Okay, so she kind of gave you a vague answer, basically. But
Right.
yeah.
I do not see the problems of being tracked. They're just innocent people. They have yet to harm us, and they're not the leadership of the forces.
But if they have intel on us,
You think they're innocent people?
Yes, innocent until proven guilty.
I'll let you know. Not many of the people that wander in these territories are usually innocent. These aren't just normal
Abigail says,
citizens.
I hold up to
She
it.
gives
We're
you
all
a
not
look.
innocent.
We're all killers. Let's face it.
She says, I prefer the term survivalist. I don't just kill
Sure.
people.
Yes, I do what needs to be done for the Empire, for the Church,
Good.
for Paylor.
And those guys are going to need to do what they need to do too.
Yes,
But if
so
you think
can we fault them for following orders?
I'm not faulting them. I
Vander,
just need to talk.
give me a persuasion DC 16.
Sure. Here you go. Well, unfortunate.
So Abigail seems conflicted, and she's gonna say, "I don't know, Vander. If this is going to be a war, I don't think we should risk losing any of our people or advantage, just because we're trying to spare possible enemies."
Well, if you wish to track them down, I'll accompany you.
She nods and says, "I will defer to your wisdom on this, but yeah, I'm kind of with Lokun on this one."
The objective is not to slay them. The objective is to catch them and get some questions answered.
Or at least follow them enough to where we see that we know where they're from.
Yeah. Okay.
All
So
right.
we'll split off. Limbo goes to get to talk to Prime, and we'll track this person down.
All right. So the group heads down to where Barble had seen this person watching you. Entering the area, there are a couple of houses. Still a good amount of tracks from when the ghouls were roaming around, but those have subsided somewhat. With your passive perception, Barble, and actually, I'll say, Annabelle,
Abigail.
both of you are able to find a set of tracks that you believe to be this person's. Give me a survival check, DC 14, because it's still a little hard to track with all the ghoul tracks.
Well,
This
do
for
we have
Abigail?
rock too?
I don't know. Did you bring Rotbro?
Who's Rotbro controller?
Well,
Apparently
I
Abigail's
would
on
probably be, but my stuff walked up here. Hold on.
Yeah, if you wanted to bring Rotbro, he could be with you. He's just been kind of walking around, enjoying the surface. But yeah, Abigail would look at some signs of passage and say, yeah, I believe this is the way. And she kind of points down the street. And I assume you guys are following the tracks.
Indeed.
Alright, so the tracks seem to lead southeast, moving across town. And at one point, the tracks just seem to disappear. Abigail says this is strange. She taps her chin a moment, looking around. Give me a survival check, DC 16 again.
Alright, Abigail, you can do it. No, she cannot.
Rotbro.
Yeah, I'm trying to get, for some reason, everything locked up on me. Hold on.
I can do it.
Rotbro's frozen. This surface is so much different than the caves. You can go in so many directions.
I can no longer open up his character sheet.
Yeah, you might not have control. I can go grab
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna have to do it for some reason. I might have to reload roll 20, I think.
All right. Rotbro. What you got? Not the best survival, but oh, well, apparently he's on the case. So as Abigail is kind of getting lost looking around, Rotbro says, trick, left ground, I believe more trail over here, and he kind of points out near one of the other houses where the trail kind of begins again. Abigail says, oh, thank you, Rotbro. Good eye.
Alright. Follow.
Alright, continuing. The trail seems to lead to the church, which is the same church where you met Elric when he was taking on the form of the Shadow Lord.
Yep.
The door to the church is closed. You're still pretty far away. How do you want to approach?
This is a Church
Is
of
it-
Palar.
Yes, this actually is a Church of Palor.
Nice.
Is
What's
there?
left
We don't want to go through the front entrance. Is there any other entrances or windows or something we can sneak through?
So you're still a couple of blocks away. Do you want to try to just approach the church like from the side and try to sneak around
Yep.
it?
I think so.
Yes, I am very sneaky as I clank my plate mail.
Well, I don't think we want to go through the front. Is all. That's the main thing.
All right, so you're not being stealthy, you're just kind of avoiding the front door.
Yeah.
Well, look, surprise them if possible.
Uh,
So, yeah.
All right, well, if you're being stealthy, so you said you want to surprise them if you can.
If we
Right,
can,
So we'll try stealth, yes.
we'll probably fail, but you know.
All right, give me stealth checks.
A solid 4.
Yep, it's
Oh.
pretty expected for Vander. He's like, how do I tiptoe and plate?
But I can't even feel my toes in this plate mail.
Clank, clank, clank. All right, so as you are approaching the church from the side, Barble,
Ugh.
you think you see some movement from one of the windows up on the like the bell tower of the church. Someone may have noticed you.
Okay. Just say bell tower.
Oh, bell tower.
All right, so I assume you're going to continue going.
I mean, yeah, we're going in there anyway. But I just tell them bell tower.
All right, so you head around the back, you said, right?
Sure. Remember those entrance back there or anything?
There is actually a door back there, though it is
Okay.
closed and looks like it is locked.
I mean, use the picket.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
All right, so you start picking the lock. Let me check something.
Give myself some guidance, I guess, just to make sure.
Yeah, that's fine. Did you roll? Oh, there you go. Yeah, so the lock is isn't too hard to get through. You make pretty short work of it, and opening the door, it looks like you're coming into the back area of the church. It looks like maybe an old supply room with crates everywhere. Probably hasn't been used in a long time though. As you make your way in, getting to the main kind of cathedral area of the church, you would see a woman kind of sitting in one of the pews, almost like she was waiting for you to get there. She would stand up and smile and say, you guys must be the Siegebreakers.
Yeah,
Good.
well-
Not good that they know her name.
Yeah.
I just met these guys like a week ago.
Trying to dissociate yourself now.
I don't even know these guys.
Yeah, like, who are you? Siegebreakers? What siege is being going?
Goku would just say, "What's it to you? Who are you?"
She says, oh, hang on a second, let me check something. Where are my notes missing? Oh, my apologies. It was not a woman, it was a halfling.
Oh, halfling.
So he stands up and smiles and says, "Name's Milo. Milo Darkhand, at your service." And gives you a polite bow, standing up on the pew to try to be at the same height as the rest of you.
Hello,
He says,
Milo.
I heard you were following one of our people, and one of our lookouts said you snuck in here through the back. So I was just waiting to make your acquaintance when you came in. I didn't want to be rude.
Well met, Milo.
You could have opened the door for us.
He says, "Well, I didn't know which door you were coming in from."
You know, your lookouts, we didn't appreciate being watched and needed to understand. We understand that your name is Milo, but who are you with? What do you work for?
He says, "Oh, my apologies. I did not mean to be rude. We were not just watching you. We've been watching quite a lot of what's been going on within Issyk. Like you, we're mercenaries, though our name is Azali's Avengers." He gives you a bow. Perhaps you've heard of us. Give me a history check. DC 13.
I apologize for my rudeness. I am Vander Goldfinch.
Even if I know, I'm gonna say no.
So Lokun, you've heard of these guys. They are actually somewhat, I don't want to say famous, but somewhat well known within the Teruvian Empire, and they have come into conflict with some of the warlord tribes of the Nazik before. But you definitely hadn't met them before this. And Barble, you probably have heard of them, though you don't know much about them. And Vander, you have heard of them as well. Again, you don't know much about them. He says,
Like I said, even if I heard their name, I would have just said no. I don't know you.
just keep quiet.
Well, what brings you here?
He says, "We've been contracted. The Teruvian Empire has had need of us once more. We were doing some scouting work, a forward party for the forces of the Izmira and the Softspire armies that approach."
Do I know any of these?
Oh yeah, you know who the Izmira and the Softspire are. The Izmira are a faction. They're a noble family that is extremely versed in the ways of war. Not on the council, but definitely one of the stronger militant groups of the Empire. Give me a history roll. See if you know who the Softspire are. DC
I'll use my
12.
inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll use my inspiration here. Dang.
Oh, no, you do
Dang.
not. You've not heard of the Softspires. But he says, "We've been sent to get a lay of the land, so the Teruvian Empire forces kind of know what they're getting themselves into. We've definitely heard of you. Obviously, we've never met you before. That whole thing with the Iron Tide, right?"
Oh yeah.
Says,
I have no idea what the Iron Tide is.
He says, "Oh, well, Sir Vander, I'm surprised you don't know. Words of, or tales of their exploits have kind of gone all over, at least within the western parts of the Empire. They saved the town of Char, probably saved a lot of lives."
Oh, is that so? That's
Says,
interesting.
"Yeah, this group you're with, they're a bit of local heroes."
Oh, I
hail
think he
from
meant
Savannah,
see-
so-
Or sorry,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead, Lokun. What were you saying?
I thought, Vander, you meant that you didn't know a lot about the Iron Tide, not us.
Oh, is that what you were saying, Vander?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I thought that's what he was referring to when he said that.
I see.
Hobgoblins. Yeah.
He says, "Well, I don't know too much about the Iron Tide either, but apparently they were attacking the town of Char, and these folks helped out the citizens."
Oh, good job, guys.
Yep.
He
Well,
says,
thanks.
Yeah. Or what were you gonna say?
I kind of want to find out, like Milo. Do you happen to know why your employer has such a renewed interest in ISIC?
He says, no, we don't know too much about the specifics, but we've been contracted to, well, first of all, help them with their base landing, and second of all, help with any mercenary work they might need done while they're here. And
See,
actually, Barble, at this point, you would notice at least one other person kind of skulking about in the rafters above. They're not doing a very well. Actually, hang on. Give me an active perception, DC 24.
Oh my god.
please, barbell.
All right. So yeah,
Oh,
you think there are two other individuals up there, skulking around in the dark. You don't know exactly where they are, but you've heard a couple of noises, very faint.
You can tell your friends to come on out too.
He says, "Well, they're a bit shy, but don't worry. They mean you no harm. They're just kind of keeping an eye out. You all see, or I've heard you all are very honorable and good people, so I'm not too afraid. But you know, you never can be too careful."
Exactly.
Give me a
what of your employer?
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, we were sent here to get a lay of the land, and once the armies arrive, we'll kind of be in reserves to help them out with what's needed.
I'm sure this expedition was not meant to just survey the lands. Surely they're here for more
He says,
than
"I
just
give me
visiting.
give me a persuasion DC 14." 22, nice. He says, "Well, I don't know exactly what their plans are, but I believe overall, with the reduction in the undead up here, they're seeking to maybe retake the territory and rebuild Issac. That'd be
I see.
my guess from what I've heard."
That would be my guess as well.
Well,
He
my
says,
appreciation for your openness.
"So, out of curiosity, I've answered quite a few of your questions. Why are the Siegebreakers here?"
Ah, shit.
I am here looking for my ex-squire, Gregory Duval.
Oh, he says, "Father Duval. Was he up here?" He seems concerned suddenly.
Yes, I heard he went on an expedition and got lost somewhere in Issac.
I've not seen Father Duval in quite some time.
Neither have I, which is why I am here.
And as he is saying that, a door opens, and an old, rough-looking dwarf comes out of the back area of the chapel. Milo says, Torgar. Torgar looks over. He says, "I've come back from the southern area. Things seem clear. No signs of any illithids or any ghoul hordes." He says, "Fortuitous timing. Meet the Siegebreakers." He says, "Yeah, hey." He goes and sits down and looks like he's going through his gear. My apologies, Milo says. So, Father Duval, you said he went missing.
Yes, and I'm hoping to find him. I'm sorry. I said them, right?
He says, "Well, I hope he's all right. I haven't seen Father Duval in quite some time. Maybe we can help you with that. He is a friend of ours. Though, yes, we have not spoken in several years."
Yes, same here. I have not heard from him in quite a while.
Is that the only reason your group is here?
Oh, I don't know their reasoning.
Yes.
Give me a deception. DC is 18. So Milo gives you a bit of a look and says, all right, fair enough. He says, well, where are you all staying? And maybe you could give us some information about Isaac. Save us some time. We've only been here about a day.
I don't think these grounds are good for revitalizing.
Oh, why not?
There's nothing this land can yield for you.
Necrotic energy here is still abound.
Says, well, don't worry. We do have some Crimson Blade members with our entourage. Any type of necrotic energies could probably be dispelled or maybe even collected. But I think the Empire is pretty intent on reclaiming the keep, barring any unforeseen problems.
Oh.
He says, in any case, it's not my call to make. My apologies.
Well, I have a question for you, Milo. Do you have any higher ups of the Phoenix Guild within the army?
He says, no, the Phoenix Guild sent a couple of people, like I said, some of their Crimson Blade, but none of the higher ups are here, at least not to my knowledge. I mean, I'm sure they're using sending spells to give them information, but I don't think they're physically here.
I was hoping to speak with the Phoenix Guild, but that's alright.
He says, one of the Soft Spire members, a figure by the name of Malistray, is ex Crimson Blade, one of the used to be fairly high up in the organization. He might know someone who you could speak to, maybe get you in touch with them.
Very well, when could we expect him and his entourage to arrive?
He says, I'm not sure. I think they were delayed a bit, so it could vary. Barble, you don't think he's telling the whole truth.
Okay.
He shrugs. But
Where was he delayed at?
sorry, what'd you say?
I'll make one of them like
Err.
noises, you know.
Torgar also makes a growling noise.
Yeah. I asked, oh, where was he delayed from?
Well, they were heading in from the southeast, I believe, marching their armies across the plains area. Yeah, I think they're trying to avoid going directly through Char. Instead, coming in from the east.
Oh, what's the city name there?
Dorvan?
Yes, oh my god, yes, Dorvan.
He says, yeah, they're coming through Dorvan, crossing the bridge and going across the plains to Isaac.
Very well. Thank you.
He says, yeah, I suggest you meet with them when you get here. It's probably good to reveal yourselves and let them know what your purpose is, better than their archers just encountering you in the wild.
Yes, that would be ideal. I do not wish to be impaled by arrows.
Nods, he says, but I'll when they get here, I'll let them know that I've met you and that you want to talk to them.
I appreciate it, Sir Milo.
He says, the Izmira, I believe, are trying to lead the efforts. They've been given the green light by the council to rebuild. Though I know the Soft Spires, there's been a little bit unease between the two factions. I think maybe there's a little bit of hope by Arella, their leader, that she can maybe get some power in this rebuilding.
You see Lokun, you hear Lokun grumble a little bit.
And which of the two armies do you work for, or are you working under the council?
Yeah, we've been contracted by the council. We have no interest in the political aspects of this. But I believe that technically Bakor is the one, as I said, kind of in charge. Lots of politics here, though. I know both families, kind of under the table, want to be in charge of the rebuilding and possibly claiming a Visic.
Perhaps I'll throw my lot into.
Isaac hasn't been given to any particular faction as of yet.
Says, well, I mean, it's owned by the Empire. I'm not sure what you mean, friend dwarf.
The governing party, or who is going to be the governing party of Isaac.
Oh, you speak of the Soft Spire and the Izmira?
Yeah.
He nods. He says, yeah. I mean, it's most likely that the Izmira will end up owning things because they have the larger force, and I don't think the Soft Spire are going to risk their wrath. But technically, they're supposed to be working together anyway. But yes, you are correct in that statement that it's sort of being decided, even though it should be decided. I believe, as I said, there's a bit of an uneasiness to the alliance between the Soft Spire and the Izmira.
Sounds more like the Empire is trying to get them to eliminate one or the other, and that way they don't have no choices to make.
Says, oh, I don't think anything that drastic. Both families are valuable to the Empire. Hopefully it won't come to any sort of elimination. The forces need each other. From what I have seen, there are still undead roaming around. A whole host of ghosts. He says, do you have any other dangers you could tell us about?
I don't want to. I'm not saying this aloud. I'm just saying this out of character, but I'm not sure if I want to scare him away with knowledge of the dragon or not reveal about the dragon. That's what I'm wondering right now.
Yeah, it seems they haven't seen her yet.
It's like a double-edged blade there. That's why I'm
Yeah,
sure
exactly.
my mouth shut.
And Loken will just keep his mouth shut for now because he knows if he shares it right now, he can't take that back. So
all right, so yeah,
he
you
would probably want to give warning to the council first before he gives any more information to these guys.
All right, so he says, well, we've kind of taken over this church as a base of operations. You're welcome to stay here if you all need a place to camp that's safe. We could work together and try to keep this place from being attacked by ghouls or any other undead.
We appreciate the. I gotta get closer. We appreciate the offer, but I think we need to move on now. We may return to speak again, but it was a pleasure meeting you, Milo, and your party here.
Says, you as well, Lokun, and perhaps next time you can meet the other two members who are skulking about above. Torgar says,
Indeed.
they hiding up there? I thought they were scouting. He says, they came back. You two, you're always hiding. Why don't you just come down? And you hear, no! From the rafters. He just growls.
Don't mind the troll outside either. They probably already said something about him.
Yeah, I saw you had a troll with you, but I assumed he was an ally since he wasn't, attacking you. Alright, so what does the group want to do? He says, we also, in case you want to trade, like you need supplies, we might have some food or things extra that we can trade. We were pretty heavily supplied by the Empire. And then basically just offers you, like, if you want to hang out or leave, it's up to you.
Do you have chamomile tea? No, just kidding.
He says, I do have tea, but I have green tea, not chamomile.
Oh, never mind.
Says,
I'd rather get
sounds
eaten
good,
by
actually.
ghouls than have green tea.
What? Vander, have you not had green tea before? It's delicious.
I despise green tea. Chamomile is my favorite.
Says, well, I enjoy chamomile as much as the next halfling, but to hate green tea so vehement, or whatever that word is, so to despise it so much, it seems a little rash.
I have not had good experiences with green tea.
He just kind of shrugs and says, well, to each their own. He goes and puts on a
What
pot.
kind of what kind of green tea were you smoking? I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Um, that's,
His
That's the
mother,
problem. They're smoking it.
his mother was
Yeah.
crushed by green tea, just like a huge
yeah.
A crate of green
crate
tea.
of green tea just fell on her.
That's
I
a
think Banner just revealed a big character flaw or trait.
Apparently, some hatred of green tea.
All right. Yeah. All right, cool. I think we're getting out of here, and we're gonna try to talk to all those to the small council.
All right, so you are heading back to Queen Dinara's residence.
Well, I think we have to. I guess I don't know what the message we sent with Nimbo is. Do we need to go over there,
To
or
meet with the queen is what we sent with him.
okay, we can go directly to the queen?
Alright, stay safe, Milo and the gang.
We must assume that they know about the Warforged as well, because the Nimble was with us, and they might have seen Nimble leave.
Yeah. So, anyways, so we don't need to go to Demi Prime. That's all taken care of. We go directly to the queen. That's my question. Okay.
You believe so?
We'll go
Yeah.
to the queen. Okay.
All right, so let's see. You would head back to the underground area through the fountain.
And the dragon in Zana knows to come down too.
Yeah. Well, you're assuming that Dinara sent a message to her through one of her people.
Okay, cool. We're all set then.
All right, so you get there first. No one's here yet, and I assume you're just gonna wait, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna chill. At least I am.
Okay.
Actually,
Banner will pray to Paylor.
Paylor,
I
guide
might.
me.
Guide
might-
my blade. And
Go ahead.
I'll ask the
Logan.
party. Is it a good idea to send out my eye now?
I think so, because
Okay.
he wasn't telling the whole truth while we were there talking to him. So
Agreed. All right, so I'll cast Arcane Eye and well, where did we hear reports of the other scouts? I wanted to investigate that. It was to the east, no? Or
Yeah, I mean, originally they said they spotted them far at the east of town. You're assuming they spotted Asley's Avengers.
okay.
Unless there
Alright,
were
I'll
other scouts.
All right. Well, I'll send an eye out. I'll cast Arcane Eye and send it out back towards that church where they were chilling at, and just kind of spy on them if I can for an hour.
All right. So you would see two other individuals there. One of them is a woman. I'll show you her picture. Just gotta hide the name because you don't know who she is yet.
well, they seem like nice folks.
My God.
You've heard about them a little bit. They've done quite a few. They're I don't want to say, like I said, they're not famous, but they're at least somewhat well known throughout the Empire as being talented adventurers. A couple of wins under their belt. More on the east side of the Empire, though. Like, Siegebreakers are more well known on the west side of the Empire.
West Side.
Aside.
You guys are west side. Oh shoot! Ignore that name. That was not
Hey,
hidden.
well-
That was not hidden at all. I failed my
Uh,
computer check. There you go. So there is a woman there who is kind of donning, and actually I should probably describe Milo a little bit better. He is he was a halfling. He seemed to have normal clothing on, crossbow on his back, and you probably noticed a wand hanging from his belt.
Oh.
Torgar was a dwarf clad in plate armor. He had a bunch of different weapons on him. He had javelins, he had a great axe, he had a sword and shield, long sword shield, and looked like a glaive as well. Bunch of weapons on his back.
A
This
fellow
woman,
pole arm user.
what did you say?
A fellow pole arm user.
Yeah, it seems like he has like a whole little arsenal with him. This mysterious woman is clad in leather armor, a bunch of daggers and a bandolier across her chest, as well as two daggers on her side, a crossbow slung on her back, and kind of like a cloak and hood that looks very fancy. She would probably be just sitting in one of the pews speaking with Milo when you show up there with your eye. And finally, another woman. Give me a moment.
Don't forget to hide the name.
Yeah, I will this time. Another woman who is sitting with a bear off to the side, just like a huge cave bear, kind of like leaning up against it, listening to what's going on. She has a little bit sturdier leather, studded leather. It looks like a very fancy longbow slung on her back, a long sword and a rapier at her side, as well as a shield on her back. Um, and yeah, very nice looking boots and a cloak and hood as well. And again,
What
she's
race was she?
oh right, she looks like she's give me a nature check. I guess it would be Locoon because he's the only one that can see her. DC 12. Some kind of elf maybe?
Okay.
Yeah. Not sure exactly what kind. Maybe a wood elf. But yeah, those seem to be the four people. Unfortunately,
Can we
you
take
can't hear what they're saying.
I'll be right back.
Oh, do we want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's do a 10-minute
Yeah, a
break.
couple minutes. I need to get something to drink.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. My brother came over for something.
That's fine. We took a break.
All right, perfect timing.
So, yeah, 10 minutes.
I'm just glad my internet's finally stable.
Yeah, it was pretty bad earlier.
Yeah, and then I don't know why my phone service is just as bad.
I don't know. My internet is all set up here. I was glad I was able to get that done. I was worried it would mess with my gaming or my game schedule.
All right, do you have Spectrum internet?
No.
Yeah, I do.
I don't.
I
Yeah,
do.
I hate this company so much.
I mean, they
But
can't
it's
be
the
as
only
bad as
good one
Comcast.
here.
Yeah, it's the problem with these providers is that this like they dominate like an area and you don't
Oh,
really
yeah.
have that many choices. You
It's
can't
Yeah.
like
it's total
fuck
bullshit.
you, I'm going with the other one.
Yeah, like
Honestly, it probably should not even be privatized. This at this point, internet is basically a
yeah.
should be a
Yeah.
utility.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
completely.
Matter of
Like
fact,
where I
we
moved.
get ours from the utility company, from
Yeah.
RUNC. That's how we get ours.
Like where I am now, there's basically one
Oh.
internet provider if I wanted fiber. Otherwise, there's like ridiculously crap speeds from like other people. But yeah, there's like basically one provider here for any serious internet. So
I wish I had Google Fiber around here because
Same.
I would pay. I don't care if it's a premium price. I would gladly pay for it. I've heard very good things about that. So
Are you in Texas, Logan?
no, I'm in LA.
Oh,
So I have Spectrum. Yeah.
yeah, I'm from Texas, and we had an outage. All of South Texas was
Oh
out
wow.
for 7 hours.
Holy shit. The fucking city must have rioted. No internet for 7 hours?
Like
Fucking
a whole bunch of local businesses closed. It was from like El Paso to like Laredo. Like it was a big swath of South Texas.
oh wow.
did they
Yeah,
not want to?
and that,
I know. I just remember when Texas had that power problem because they refused to connect to the like national grid.
oh yeah.
So their whole
Oh yeah.
all the freaking power went down for like days. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know, but apparently this was Spectrum that 2 of their fiber lines were cut or something.
Like vandalized.
I don't know that they were just cut. That's all they saw
Probably not,
from the news.
probably not vandalize. It can happen if like you're doing construction and somebody didn't do their homework and know that,
Yeah, I forget the number. Is it 811, 411? I don't remember.
That's
Anyways.
interesting.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Yeah, the big thing.
Yeah, the big one.
All right, looks like back. Everybody got their drink.
Yeah, I still got 5 minutes though.
Oh, okay.
Smoke
your
what was I
cigarette.
gonna say? I don't have cigarettes. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Internet should be a utility at this point. Like it's basically
Yeah.
a monopoly. Like I don't know how they're getting away with it.
It's
Well,
a
I do.
public
It's
good.
lobbyists.
Like people should not be without it. Is another thing, to tell you the truth.
No.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like you're disadvantaged if you don't have it.
It's funny
True.
being my age. I remember the time before like internet was really a thing. Makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and me both.
I'm pretty old too. I remember having to do dial up and all that.
Yeah, the
That stuff.
BBS's dial-up
So,
modem.
I remember not even having it. So,
America Online.
matter of fact, we had a party line phone when I was growing up.
Oh yeah.
And my dad, yeah. So my dad was a ham radio guy. Like if you want to talk before internet, it was
Oh,
radio,
jeez,
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
My dad was too, ham radio and CB.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 25, so I mean 24. I added a year to myself. Oh,
Yeah.
grew up with all the technology.
You were born when I
Yeah.
was like graduating college.
You,
But yeah, I remember my first experience with internet was like playing Doom 2 over like the modem.
same.
It's like
I
this
mean,
is
I was
so
one.
cool.
That's a core memory of mine too. Totally. Like seeing the multiplayer for the first time
Oh man, I
and
was
seeing
like,
you
you can
shoot
do
down
this?
somebody. You're shooting down. Just the concept that you're both in the game at the same time in different places was insane.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
yeah,
yeah, this is amazing.
yeah.
Now, like that's just the standard, like Halo and everything. But yeah, back then,
Yeah.
like first time I played multiplayer, I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe
Well,
this.
but
How
take
does
a
this
look
work?
yeah. But take a look at Doom 2 and I guess like what I really got sucked into was like Quake 2. Take a
Yeah.
look at those games and take a look at the games today. I mean, yes, they're huge differences in everything, but it's just amazing that like I feel like that really revolutionized and from there it was just kind of iterations on the same thing,
Oh no,
you know?
yeah, it was huge. Like it. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it was just
That was just like a big leap. Like what we witnessed was the big leap, you know what I'm saying?
Like my
yeah.
first computer was a Commodore 64. So I mean,
I remember
Nice.
when I first played Doom, my uncle was like, "You like, I got your computer set up. There's 200 megs on there. You'll never need that much memory, but here you go." And I was like, "Yeah, I got so much memory." And then it was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
it's or hard drive or whatever." Back then,
Yeah.
like when Doom was like, I think 30 megs, and like, yeah, 200 seemed like way more than you'd ever need.
Yeah.
And then 2 decades later, look at where we are now.
Yeah. How, like I said, amazing how technology has evolved. My dad was like,
yeah.
video games are a passing fad. You should do something else with your time. It's like, screw you, Dad. I knew what I was
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Like, you play too much D&D. Go do something else. Go play basketball. It's like, now I do it for a living.
D&D is the devil's game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
I
The
had
Satanic
I
Panic.
had somebody burn all my damn original books on
Oh,
me, and I was a devil worshiper.
I had mine confiscated because my mom used to go to like these prayer meetings, and I brought like my books to like the kids thing in there, and they like took them away. I was so
Wow.
upset. I was like,
That's
what?
crazy.
And then I like, oh, you shouldn't read these. Like, you're gonna lose your soul. And I was like, I am. I was really young,
That's
so I didn't know.
hilarious.
I was
Yeah,
really
I got pissed off when they did it and told them you need to read it. It's not that they are devils and this and that. That's what you're fighting 90% of the time.
Oh yeah, my mom got pissed off too because she was like a big D&D fan. She's like, "You guys are weird," and then she didn't go back to that group again. I got my books back though, so that was good.
We should all play AD&D second edition. I'm just kidding.
No, we should not. I'm not gonna learn that again. That system is ridiculous. Although there are a lot of things from that actually made it over to fifth, like a lot of ideas.
Like, is morale still a thing? Is it a thing in fifth?
No, but like a lot of the charts and just some of the nuances of the rules, I think. But yeah, like what was it, like secondary skills? I mean, I guess skills were always a thing since third. But yeah, third kind of refined them. Anyway, all right, let's get back to it. What were we doing?
Spying on the people.
All right.
Spying on adventurers.
Did I give you all 4 of their pictures?
I think we're missing the last one. The lady with the bear.
Oh, the lady with the bear.
Yeah.
Where did I put her? Here she is. So yeah,
Alright.
she's just kind of hanging out with her bear, kind of off to the side, listening to what's going on.
So
Yeah.
I want to send the eye searching the church. Is there anything that looks like an office? And I'm looking for basically letters or anything like that I could read since I can't hear.
Yeah, so you are flying the eye around. Give me a perception. As you're looking for something of interest.
Okay.
I'll say DC 18.
Oh,
Wow. There you go.
nice.
So you see in kind of the back area, in one of the side rooms, there is a backpack that's kind of closed up and some papers lying on the table next to it. Some like scrolls that are kind of rolled up. You would notice some of these scrolls have seals on them, like family seals, though I don't think you'd recognize the symbol.
I try.
They might be correspondence. Sure. Give me a history check. Say DC 16.
If you describe them out loud, maybe Vander knows.
Lokun's on a roll.
Well,
All right. So you would actually recognize the family signs. One of them is Izmira. The other is Softspire.
okay.
These might be correspondence letters between the Asli's Avengers and those families.
So Lokun is in the same room as you guys, and his eyes are kind of rolled back in his head and he'll speak aloud and relay all that he's seeing to you guys. And you can
So they
He'll
got
be
a
like-
druid with them, huh?
let me know if you want me to look at something else or look elsewhere. But does it look like the scroll it's sealed, so I can't open it and read it?
Well, the
right?
scrolls are rolled up. The seals have all been broken, probably because they've been read
Okay.
already. But yeah, the scrolls are rolled up, so there's no way you can see them, unfortunately.
So the eyeball is a physical thing, right?
Is it? Let me see.
Well, it can't fit. It has to fit in small holes and stuff like that. So I feel like it's physical.
Yeah, sort of, I guess. Are you trying to use it to like bump into the scroll to unroll it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I not. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know
200
if it would.
IQ.
I don't know if it. Yeah. What did you say? 200 IQ.
200 IQ.
It's 200 IQ use of the spell. But yeah, I'd say you probably don't have enough strength in the eye to manipulate objects with it. It probably can only see.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's totally. I agree. Is there anything else in this room? Anything else in this backpack?
So if you fly into the backpack, it looks like there are a bunch of components in it. You would guess probably 1,000 Maho worth of arcane components in here. Quite a bit.
Okay. I'll fly back out. And any other rooms I can investigate? Any other things? And then guess let me know. Has it been an hour yet?
I mean, it's getting close. You've flown most of the way around the church. You don't think there's anything else to be found here. It looks
Okay.
like just the Asli's Avengers. Like you probably see after the woman with the bear came down for a bit, she goes back up top. It looks like she's the one keeping watch. She may have been the
Okay.
one that you saw or that Barbel saw. And her
Okay,
bear is
so-
kind of sniffing around outside as she's watching.
Okay. So the last thing, how much time do you think I have on the eye?
I don't know, like maybe 10 minutes.
All right. The last thing I like to do is just fly out of the church and fly as high as possible to kind of scout out like the horizon and all and like anything in the distance I see, any movement.
All right. Let me see. What time is it?
Yeah, is it nighttime or is it still daytime?
It's probably about 6 p.m., so it's starting to get late. It's autumn, so I guess at 6 p.m. it would already kind of be getting close to sundown. Looking out over the plains, you don't see any indicator that there's an army close by, which maybe makes you feel a little bit better. They might still be a ways out.
Yeah. Well, at least even in this darkness, I would especially be able to see any fires or torches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So-
which you don't really see. Oh, actually, what's your passive perception? 11. So
Yeah.
you might notice in the north part of town, actually on the island over here, lights coming from the house.
Oh,
Although you've
That's
seen lights
crazy.
coming from there before, but you all never looked into it because it was that weird
that I
creature.
gotta look into sometime.
Because there was a
Yeah.
creature swimming in the lake.
Yeah.
Oh, they said that they were delayed at Dorvin. Do I know how long it takes to get to Dorvin from here, or like a rough estimate?
Dorvin,
Ooh.
the town?
Yeah.
I can show you the map.
Yeah,
Each
That's
square
200 IQ.
each square is about what did you say?
I said that's 200 IQ.
It's 200
You're trying
IQ.
to calculate how far along they are.
Yeah, so each square is about a day's travel on foot. Probably about the same on horse with the amount you're like slowing down to.
yeah, they said that they
Drink.
didn't want to go to Char, so they're probably going to cut through the plains.
Yeah, so it looks like it's about 10 days, 240 miles.
Yes, but he wasn't telling the truth, so we can estimate less than 10 days.
It's true, he may have been, he was being a little cagey. Then again, you guys were lying to him too, so that might be why.
Hey, Fender was up and honest about what he was doing.
Yeah,
I
well,
couldn't have been
Lokun
lying
wasn't.
because I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you were keeping
I was
quiet.
lying.
Lokun was lying, and he may have sensed that.
Straight up fucking lying.
Liar! Alright, so yeah, what do you want to do? It's about 6 o'clock in the evening now. So far, what's her name? Xanthanar has arrived. But you're still waiting on the Warforged. Xanthanor. So, Xanthanor is in woman form. Zana, to be clear.
Yeah, so I will actually introduce myself to her since I hadn't met her before this.
Sure. So, she nods and says, "It's good to meet you, friend dwarf. I had seen you traveling with the party. My apologies for not speaking with you. I just didn't, I guess, have the moment to introduce myself."
It's fine. Same here.
She says, "But are you with the Teruvian Empire as well?"
No.
She says,
In fact, I come from the Dwarven Empire.
She says, "Oh, the Drogoth Empire in the mountains."
Yes.
She nods and she says, "What are you doing this far south then?"
Fellow person from Tiny was from there as well. He is from our church.
She says, "Oh yes, the other dwarf. I believe I met him as well." What?
Yeah, he's below you in the keep, banging away at the smith all day.
Says, so he's the one making all the noise. So, what interest do the two of you have in Isaac?
Dwarven artifacts.
Were you able to recover any from the vault? Or anywhere else in general?
Just where they're at. Recovering them is going to be hard, especially with the added empire showing up.
She nods and says, "That makes sense." Sorry, give me one moment to check something. Do I not have it here? Might not. Alright, give me one moment. I need to grab an asset from my other game. Thought I moved it over, but I'm not seeing it.
I went out of character. There might be some members of my sect in the Empire as well, since it expands more than just in the Dwarven Empire.
Interesting.
Alright, so as you are talking, a very regal looking warforged comes walking in through the mist. She bows and says, "Greetings again, Siegebreakers. It is I, Demi Prime. I received your invite to this meeting, and have come."
Hello, I believe this is the first time we are meeting. I am Vander Goldfinch.
She says, "Goldfinch. It's good to meet you, friend.
Pleasure's all mine.
Nimble told me a bit about you and your seeking of the religious priest who was lost during the fight."
Indeed.
And at this point, Dainara would say, "Well, we're all assembled. We should probably talk about what it is our plan, or what it is we plan to do about the incursion of the Teruvians." And she looks to Vander and she says, "I know you expressed interest in a diplomatic solution, but if that isn't an option, can we count on you to be an ally to us?"
I'll defend myself if I need to.
She says, "But will you defend our cause, and can we trust you not to give information to a possible enemy?"
I will not go against you, but I'm not sure I want to fight my own people.
Give me a persuasion check.
You kind of persuade.
So you're going to abstain?
I'm sorry, what's up?
Abstain. Are you abstaining?
I have no idea.
Choosing not to fight.
I prefer that.
Not to be on either side.
I would prefer that. Vander would prefer that, yes.
So she says, "Well, if you don't wish to fight, can we trust you not to reveal any of the things that have been said at this meeting?" And she sort of looks to Lokun as well, like, can we trust him?
Yes, Paylor as my witness. I will not discuss anything that is discussed here.
She says, "Well, I thank you for that then. Hopefully you won't have to fight your countrymen. Maybe you can help convince them to leave, or at least to recognize our authority in this place."
Booker nods to that, and he's like, "If you wish to sway them, well, first off, can you also commit to trying to sway them not to come down here and discover these things?" But
I do not know how much I could do, but I'll do what I can.
As
On
well.
that note, I will ask Demi if she'd be willing to take guardianship of this city, if that would maybe help that from happening.
So Demi would say, take ownership of the city?
Guardianship, ownership.
Well, we didn't think we'd need that much space. The cathedral and the vaults below it should be plenty for what we wish to accomplish. It's not, well, I don't know if it's really our place to claim a city that we haven't been a part of for, well, ever. I mean, we existed at a time where dwarven cities were all over the lands. This city was not even here at that point.
Yeah. Granted, but it's not anybody's city at the moment except for the undeads.
She says, well, the Warforged are certainly willing to listen to the proposals of Queen Dinara and the great shadow dragon Zana. I don't yet know if I wish to be an ally to the two, but I can certainly be a neighbor and a partner in trading. It shall depend on the decisions that they make. Give me a... Or yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to say?
I was going to just say, add to that, that humans, dwarves, elves, they tend don't want to listen to people that aren't their own kind, or like undead, or that they might deem other aligned.
Were you saying something, Lokun?
I was gonna say a couple of things. I'll be like, we got there's a couple of problems that they pose here. Is that one? Exactly what Barbell is saying. The people here, I do not think they will want to coexist with. Or at least that is a big risk. And then two is that I fear that they will find the vault, and once they see the technology within, they will want to lay claim on it.
Give me persuasion checks. So I'll say DC 14.
I'm not even sure what I'm trying to persuade of, though. But I'm just kind of telling them
The importance of the vault a little.
I'm trying to persuade them risks. Yeah.
So she would nod at this and say, well, we've certainly seen the hubris of humanoids in the past, especially the dwarven peoples. You make a good point that they might be a danger there. She says, perhaps it is in our best interest to form an alliance with the undead.
Yeah, and I'll also add about the technology and how it can do great good potentially, but also it could also bring catastrophe. I think it's like a very powerful artifact.
So do you want to tell her everything you know about this gate, the Nightweather Gate?
Everybody in this circle, I'll look to the others and see how their facial expressions. I'll try to read their facial expressions. But I almost feel like I gotta share everything.
Yeah. And Barble will add what he knows. If it's more than what anybody else knows, he will add it as well.
All right. So Barble looks like he would he give Nilkun like a nod that we should talk about this?
Yeah.
And I guess
it sounds like he just even talked about it right now. Yeah, his character chimed in.
Yeah, and I guess Vander doesn't know too much, but he does know some of the stuff you told him. So are you all on board telling her about the gate?
Yeah. And the dangers of it, and the pluses of it as well.
And Vander kind of shrugs like, it's not my business to talk about it. I wasn't the one who discovered it.
All right.
I haven't even seen it,
so
this is trust.
So you kind of explain to Demi Prime what you found, but she actually would know of Nightweather if you mention it. She would say, you are correct. If what you say is true and there is a gate to the first city, the technological and magical advances associated with such a place could bring unimaginable power to any who would claim it. I don't know if yeah, such a thing could even be left there unattended. I'd be happy to offer the services of my people to help protect it.
It'd be much
If we
appreciated.
could move it to your vault, it would be a big, help.
She nods. She says, well, I'd have to send someone to take a look at it and see what would be possible, but I certainly wouldn't be against the idea. Our vault is
I'll look over
probably our vault is probably better protected than where it is now.
Yeah, I'll look over to Nimble and I'll be like, Nimble knows where the vault is.
He says,
I'll have to let him in though.
says, I do. I would be happy to bring some of our people down there once Barbel is able to disengage the magics that seal it. She nods and says, we shall have that as a side project. But yes, I agree that such a powerful artifact should be protected. Thank you for trusting me with this information, Lokun.
Indeed. And that only temporarily solves the first problem. But what about the second? What about the confrontation that will likely happen once the human forces arrive and start delving down into these beneath down here?
So the three women kind of look at each other, concerned. Zana will say, I have never known kings and councils and armies to be big negotiators if they feel they have the advantage. I don't know if we can trust these humans to be diplomatic. From what it sounds like, they're here to take the city by force if necessary.
I believe so. Indeed. Also, yeah, I'll tell them about the encounter with Milo. I wish I told them about it earlier. But
All right, so you tell them about all the things that Milo told you as well.
yeah.
So yeah, Queen Dinara says, yeah, it definitely sounds like a scouting party to assess the danger of this place and bring in any extra resources they might need. He says,
did we ever tell him about the necromancer that's down in the
no, you
and
didn't.
stuff?
Oh, yeah.
No, you didn't mention Elodie.
Oh,
I'll mention
shit.
that too.
Oh, so you bring up Elodie and tell them about her. Demi Prime doesn't seem too worried, but Zana and Dinara both say, this necromancer, you say she has taken control of a large portion of the ghoul forces.
Indeed.
Do you think she's trustworthy, or do we have to worry about her powers coming back to bite us?
Hell no. I don't think she's trustworthy.
No, I don't trust her at all.
So Demi Prime would say, well, if she can truly wrest control of a ghoul horde from the Illithids, this could be a valuable resource. But again, as you say, if she's not trustworthy, then I don't think that would be to our benefit.
She's
Where
out,
the hell-
she's out for power. I think we can use her. Just got to realize what she is.
Yeah, well, this is the thing is, I don't know if she's independent or if she works for somebody, and if that somebody happens to be tied to those forces outside our door.
Dinara would say it's unlikely she works for the Empire, especially if what you say about the Crimson Blade is true. The Necromancer would not be treated well by members of the Crimson Blade. Likely they would kill her or arrest her, not work with her. I mean, I can't say for sure. It just, from what I know of that organization, they detest necromancy. Most casters do.
If it were not for my mission, I would have slain her myself.
Exactly, and she kind of points to Vander. My point made. But that does, even if she is not with the forces of Teruvia, it doesn't mean she's trustworthy.
I agree, but perhaps her interests might overlap with ours for just this. But perhaps she could unleash the undead again and let them create a buffer and slow them down. I do not think she would want them prying into her affairs down here either.
Zana nods and says, "The enemy of my enemy," and all that. Demi Prime would say, "Well, we certainly have one of the altars she needs. I know of it well. It's sitting in the middle of my cathedral."
Indeed, she had asked, and we have not revealed any more to anything to her because we didn't trust her.
Dinara says, "I don't know. Necromancers make me uneasy, especially being an undead myself. I don't know if giving her that much power. I mean, how do I know she won't corrupt my soldiers or do something else that would work against us?" And she says, maybe I should leave it up to you, Siegebreakers. If you think it's worth the risk and you think you can convince her to be an ally, then I will trust your judgment." And kind of all three of them nod to that. They say, maybe you need to assess her a bit more, or whatever you need to do to get more information on her and if she could be of assistance to us.
I should be sending an eyeball down there.
Yeah, we could probably we might be able to set her against the Empire just straight up without involving her in the other three business.
Dinara,
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll talk after this.
I'll say one thing though is if she's helping us in that way, like I just described, she would be sacrificing some of the power she had accumulated.
Indeed, Demi says, although if we did let her use our altar, she'd also be gaining quite a bit more power. If what you
Oh,
say is,
I wasn't suggesting that. No, I wasn't suggesting that.
she
She
says,
does not know the location, and she does not need to.
well, if it will help her get more of a ghoul horde, perhaps it is worth it to give her the location. And Dinara would say, "I don't know about that, Demi. That might be a mistake." And Demi says, "Well, either she has them or the Illithids do, and I would much rather this human have them, as I am no fan of the mind flayers."
I feel like there is a third possibility, which is neither of them have it. Um, but perhaps then the first move is to just talk to her, not reveal the location of the other altar, and see if she would be game to um, leverage her horde to stall the humans.
"Do you have something to offer her?" Zana asks.
It was requesting our services in trade, but perhaps this would be a service for us. This service would be better.
Hmm. Well, I'm guessing if you're asking her to sacrifice her ghouls for us, you're probably going to need to offer her something of value.
Of course.
And I think,
Anyways.
yeah.
No, nothing. Go ahead.
So, Dinara would look to Vander and say, "Do you think there's a way you could convince these factions to see reason?"
Well, I guess it depends on how strongly they feel about taking the city.
She says, "Well, you probably know more about the Tyvanus political game than I do, as I've been dead for 100 years, or undead. Um, I don't suppose you have any connections to these families or know more about them and what their goals might be."
Well, I know there's some I guess not technically infighting, but I know they do not like each other. They are political rivals.
That could be useful. I guess at this point, all we can do is wait for them to arrive and then have you all make contact. Perhaps they would be willing to discuss things, and maybe we could come to an agreement. I don't know.
Yes. We believe they'll be here in about 10 days or less.
Zana says there's no way they're going to agree to anything other than the complete control of the city. That's why they're bringing armies.
I agree. That's how these things work.
And it sounds like they have specialists as well, as if these Asli's Avengers. I don't believe for a second they're just scouts. In fact, we might want to kill them before the armies get here. And Demi would say that would definitely close the door to diplomacy, because it would show us to be murderous. I don't know if I agree with that path.
Yes, and I would like to say the Queen is. I don't know if there'll be any way for us to make them recognize that you are still alive in a way and
She-
still have ownership.
She kind of laughs. She says, "Look at me. I'm a wraith. There's no way they will
I understand
respect
that,
my
but you are
my,
still in control of your faculties. You still know who you are.
perhaps. I don't expect any such respect will be given to me, though. Even if I can still speak like a noble, I might be wrong, but that's just my feeling."
Well, I'm trying to stop. Uh, I mean, as far as the ghouls go, they are now mindless, and a swift death and passing on would be good for them. But those of you who still have your faculties to die like this would not be right.
She says, "Well,
There is a
go ahead."
there is another option. Uh, Zana, we did not reveal to them that you were here, but I wonder if your other presence can deter them. They were scouting for dangers, and
She kind of
well,
smiles and
you in
says,
your
"Well,
true form. Yeah,
a huge dragon flying over the city would be intimidating. I'm assuming they already know about me. They just probably haven't seen me yet. Any scouts the Empire had who knew about the ghouls being taken out would know of my presence here. I mean, I've been a part of the city for several decades now.
yeah,
But
but
are you asking me
sometimes,
to use my dragon form to fly over again at night?"
yeah,
I'd be careful though. If they got specialists, they some specialists might be here just to take you out.
that's true.
Maybe, but I don't think 4 humans are going to be much of a challenge. I thought maybe they had more. I'm assuming they're
And
bringing more.
they only need to see you. You don't need to be that close.
And Demi Prime would nod. She says, "I think they speak wisdom, Zana. I don't think you should attack the humans just yet, because that will close doors to diplomacy. And actually, give me a persuasion on that to Zana. Any of you who've been talking, DC. I guess yeah, Vander too, because you've been saying nonviolent. DC 16, because she doesn't really like the humans.
Hold on a moment.
Come on, Vander, we need you.
Maybe inspiration.
Even if I inspired, I would have missed it. I'm not good at persuasion.
Oh, did Vander step away?
Alright, so what's DC?
16.
Oh, 18 to
Oh.
18.
Nice.
So yeah, she kind of nods and says, "Well, Yeah, maybe there is some wisdom to not engaging with them just yet. Giving them the chance to prove me right. She says, once they show their true colors, there'll be plenty of them to slay, along with my new allies. She kind of looks to Demi Prime and Dinara. Demi looking maybe a little uncomfortable with that, but Dinara nodding. Demi would say, "Just remember, I have not yet promised my forces to this war. Uh, I mean, no offense to any of you, but if the humans can give me an offer to secure my people in this new city that they want to build, that might be the best course for us."
I understand.
She says, "Of course, we would still have to hide the platform from them, but
Indeed.
maybe it's the right choice for Isaac is to give it to the humans." And Dinara
Oh
says,
no.
"I can."
Demi said that?
Yeah, Demi said that. And
Oh.
Dinara would say, "That would almost surely guarantee my destruction, Demi." And she says, "Well, while I do not want to see that, I also must think of what would be best for my people." She says,
At the
and
cost of another.
give me a persuasion on that. If you're trying, are you kind of like saying that like it's not worth the cost?
I'm trying to say that yeah, it's I mean that doing something in the interest of your own peoples is fine and all, but if it is destroying another neighbor, it's not.
Yeah, you need to come
Oh,
up with
well.
another idea if it is.
So she says, well, there again might be some wisdom to that, as I don't know if I can trust these new human allies or possible allies." And she says, "All right, I'm not committing my forces yet, but we shall see."
You have large banks of storage. This these things are old as time. The same thing happens over and over. Um, that technology that I'm entrusting with you, you must promise me that you would not hand it over to them unless I say so.
She says, "No, I would
And it's
never,
not yours. Yeah.
I would never hand it over to any of the Teruvian forces, um, as I do not know them well enough to trust them with it."
Okay, good.
She
All right.
says, "I actually do have some information on night weather, as I said, and yeah, I don't believe that any of these forces are. It would be dangerous for them to have that kind of power."
Agreed. Okay. So I think we got a plan, right? It's Demi moved the stuff over to her place, and then
What you can, yeah.
Zana to do the flyover.
And Demi says, "I'll have my people take a look at this platform." Uh, Zana would say, "Another thing I should mention. I don't know if it is still a problem, but the illithids are missing. We don't know where they are, and that could be a wild card in the times to come. Uh,
Agreed.
it might
We,
be
we
worth,
might be able to find out. We go talk to the one.
yeah, it might be
Yeah.
worth wiping them out, because I don't think we
Wiping.
can count on them as allies in this.
Oh, mind flares. Yeah.
Yeah, the illithids. So that you all know the undercaves better than any of my people," Demi says, and Dinar would say, "and my ghosts can't get down there. So maybe this might fall to your group if you have time to figure out what happened to the mind flayers.
Okay.
Maybe eradicate them. I'll leave that up to you, though."
Good. You think we could do that while we have forces building up outside, upstairs?
She says, "Well, that's why I said if you think there's time. Otherwise, yeah, we'll just have to hope they don't turn on us or show back up and turn on us at an inopportune time.
Agreed. Okay.
All right. She says, well, for now, I think we all have things to look into. The necromancer Elodie and myself examining the vault being the first few. Shall we reconvene in several days to discuss progress? And they all kind of agree to that.
Okay.
All right, so they all go their separate ways. What does the group want to do now?
Oh, and before she leaves, to Jenny, I would mention for her to be at the vault the next day so that I could open it for her.
All right, she says, we'll meet you down there tomorrow. We'll meet you at your... Actually, do they know where your base is? Yeah, they do, because Nimble was there. She says, I'll meet you at your library base, and you can bring us there.
Very well.
Mm.
All
What do
right.
you guys want to do now? What time is it?
It's pretty late in the day. Probably going on about 8 o'clock in the evening. So not enough time to do downtime. You might just want to pass the evening till tomorrow. What's the group's plan? Or I guess you could try to go speak with Elodie tonight.
Well, we could ask Blackwater his thoughts on the matter and what he knows about these families.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Blackwater
invited
and
to the meeting.
Chiron.
Yeah, so you're gonna go back to your library and speak with him?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, he's a free man. He heard us talking about it in the morning.
Oh, well, yeah, but he didn't go with you to the meeting. Where's Blackwater?
I already forgot the names. Soft something and
Soft
Spire.
Spire and
Soft Spire.
Ismira.
Ismir. Okay. Glad I'm not
Alright, so
being today.
let's see. You head back to the keep and speak with Blackwater. You're asking him about the families?
Well, yeah.
So he would say, yeah, I can tell you a bit about them. Which do you wish to know of first?
The Ismari?
The Ismira. The Ismira are they are a proud group of Raylan warriors who were part of the original resurfacing after the cataclysm. Once the fires died out and the people of the now Teruvian Empire came to the surface and started rebuilding, the Ismira were basically part of the main landing party that protected the first colonies, which earned them quite a bit of status within the empire as it grew and grew. They are fierce warriors and have quite a bit in the way of power and military force at this point, mostly funded by the council. Lots of respect as well.
Alright, how do you know the Soft Spires?
He says, I don't know too much of the Soft Spires. They came into power more recently. A group of a smaller family that got rich off of a mining colony that they set up in Karu. It was a small farming community, but quite a bit of wealth was discovered in the mines there, which the family used to grow and gain influence. And recently have been making a lot of moves politically in the capital, thanks to all the money and resources they've earned.
Okay.
I don't know why they would have an interest in Isik. I know that their family friend is the former or one of their family friends, is the former Crimson Blade member Malistray, a figure of both renown and maybe a bit of what would the word be?
Notoriety.
Yeah, like negative notoriety. Suspicions are around him, which is why he was kind of let go from the Crimson Blade. Still commands a lot of respect with many of the Blades who still are within the organization, though. He is one of the more notable members, not of the family, but who work for the family, an ally of the Softspire. A tiefling, I believe.
Oh wow, you don't see too many of those.
He says no, definitely not something that works in his favor. Tieflings are often the targets of racism and mistrust within the Empire due to their infernal heritage.
Oh, and you make a deal with the devil, you know.
He says, well, that's a common misconception. Tieflings have infernal blood, but they don't all make deals with devils.
Well, their ancestors did.
Or perhaps were seduced by devils. But regardless, yeah, that is Malistray's bloodline.
Right, do you know if there's any way of convincing them to leave?
He says doubtful. If they brought armies with them, I believe they mean to conquer the area. Still, the Esmira are honorable, so if you can appeal to their sense of honor, you might be able to make a deal with them. Though I'm guessing any deal will include them being part of the future of Isik. I don't think you're going to get them to just leave.
Quite
No.
a predicament, because I'd rather not see anyone die, if possible.
He says, well, politically speaking, perhaps one of the families would be willing to work with the undead. Maybe if you can ally with, have the families form some sort of an alliance with the factions here already. Perhaps the mutual benefit of all will be an attractive option.
And sure, I know the Softspires do not particularly get along well with the Ismari, I forget.
He says, I don't know much about their relations. Where have you heard that?
From some mercenary scouts that we met earlier today.
Who exactly?
I told them the name of the mercenaries.
Azali's Avengers.
Azali's Avengers. They were better known in the east
He says, yes, I know
of
of them.
Serbia.
Blowhards. Although it sounds, I have heard good things about them, but I also think their reputation is inflated.
They
Well,
seem nice enough.
Perhaps, but if they are here, then they might be here to kill your dragon. That is definitely something that one would hire them to do.
Well,
Do they hold such power?
Sorry, what?
Do they hold such power?
They're a talented group. They're adventurers. I don't imagine researching how to slay a dragon would be outside their purview.
I'll be like, well, that's where the plan of her doing a flyby from a far distance comes into play. We could just watch them and see how they react. Do they pursue, or do they move back?
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
Blackwater thinks for a moment. He says, well, if the Empire does know of the dragon, they'd probably want it taken out before the armies get here, not wanting to risk annihilation of a huge military force.
Do you know if these armies consist of professional soldiers or conscript farmers?
He says, well, the Izmira almost surely have professional soldiers. I have no idea what sort of forces the soft spires have.
Okay.
Though I doubt any in the, at least not within the army of the Izmira, could compare to the skills of you or your group, or the Asli's Avengers. They're more mercenaries. Yeah, like a mercenary fighting force. Not specialists.
Okay. Well, then I don't think they can take on a dragon.
Says, well, the armies I don't think can. I'd be more worried about the adventurers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I've already warned them.
He says, but any other questions, I'd be happy to help. As I said, I still owe you all for saving me.
Do you have any contacts you could rely on for political help?
He says, not really. As I said, I'm more of a scholar than a politician. That's why I was in Char in the first place.
I
Well,
never
what
heard
of your
that,
Alright, go ahead, Lokun.
I said, but what of your family?
He says, oh,
Surely they are well connected.
yes,
Oh yes, your brother holds the second seat, right? On
she
the council?
does. She was almost certainly part of the decision that sent the Izmira here. I doubt she would change her mind on that. She probably has something to gain politically and financially from it. I'm guessing a percentage of the trade routes with the Nazik Empire once the city's established.
Who do you think the Nazik Empire will trade with us?
Says they did once. That is why Isik became so large and wealthy. It's because of the desert trade routes. The warlords are dangerous and constantly fighting, but they do need supplies.
Oh, that's fair.
Unfortunately, now they are leaderless.
Oh? Ah, yes.
Oh, or
Well,
cards.
the Iron Tide is one of the mercenary groups, but there are quite a few different quite a few warlord kings within the Nazik.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't try to go and take over their ranks once he fell, or did he fall? I just
No,
assumed, as I
I have
hadn't
a
seen him.
sense he's still. He's in the Shadowfell.
Ah, that makes sense. All right.
Anyways, I'll also bring up to the party about the Mind Flayer, because you guys don't know about him yet. A friendly Mind Flayer. These guys haven't met them, right? Lou?
Avagaru. I don't think they have. Tiny may have told Barble about him, but Vander probably
They
doesn't know.
just been just maybe in passing, anything about it,
Yeah, the Mind Flayer spirit.
Okay.
Well, you think you can at least get us an audience with the, I guess, the leaders of these armies?
Who, the Mind Flayer?
No, Blackwater.
Oh, Blackwater. He says, if I'm honest, I'd rather they not know that I live. I'm guessing they all think I'm dead, and I kind of want to keep it that way. At least for now.
Wait, what happened that they think you're dead? Last I heard, you just went on an expedition north.
Yes, and then I disappeared.
Anyways, I would also say that we probably update these guys on what just transpired with that meeting, right?
Update Blackwater?
Blackwater and Chiron.
Alright, Chiron has kind of been keeping out of the conversation, but he has been listening. So he would say he kind of agrees with Dinara's assessment. He is willing. He thinks it's a good idea to try for diplomacy, but it's going to be really hard. He doesn't think that the armies and the Izmira are going to respect the undead's claim to this place.
But he's in
Especially,
danger.
oh, he says, he says, I'm definitely in danger. If they took over this place, they'd almost certainly kill me.
So what do you recommend then? Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Vander.
If the Ismari are as militant as their reputation leads to believe, I think our best bet would be making an alliance with the Soft Spires.
Soft spires are which ones? They're not the warrior types, right? This is
They're the family that got rich from the mines that came into power more recently. Whereas the Izmir are kind of like an old guard family that was present for the reemergence several hundred years ago.
Oh wow. So you think the Asmari are less trustworthy? Those are the ones with the honor code, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Raelins.
I feel like those are the ones you want to deal with. I feel like the other one, what was the other one called again?
Softspire.
Sorry, Softspire. I mean, they mine. They're gonna definitely want to dig. That's the first thing they're gonna do once they get here.
Just because they have mines, you think they're going to want to dig?
They're
Find
gonna
more
go down.
mines.
They're gonna want to go
no.
down. They're gonna want to go down the dwarven mine.
Yeah,
The Softspire dug too deep.
Yeah.
They broke the #1 rule of Minecraft and stuck.
Yeah.
Straight down.
Just dig straight down and build a ladder back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, something to think about because we are getting close to the end. I assume next week we're going to try to do something with Elodie, and yeah, I'm not sure what else you guys are going to do. Just wait for the soldiers to get here.
I don't know. I don't like that plan.
Yeah, wait. I'd rather meet them somewhere else.
You do have a bit of
Waiting is
downtime,
better. It's true.
so you could choose to do other things. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to you what you want to do. Or you could just leave and let the undead deal with it. The undead.
The major thing that we need to do is move the platform. If we
Or
can
we
get
can destroy
that,
it.
if we get that done, yeah.
I'm not gonna destroy it because the thing is also so it could be very dangerous, but it also could save us from the next cataclysm.
It's
Right,
true. There's a
exactly.
lot of
But
potential.
cataclysms aren't real.
Oh yeah, that's right. Vander's a cataclysm denier. It's like if you see any fires on the surface, obviously a conspiracy.
Yeah, it was obviously someone who didn't take care of their campfire while camping.
Yeah.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Only you can prevent cataclysms. But yeah, I guess you guys can figure out over the week what you want to do. There is, like I said, there is the option to walk away and just go look into the Shadowfell to try to save your friends, and just kind of let the factions handle it. But I don't know.
Do both.
Is
Yeah, I
that
don't
like
know.
what are you interested in doing? Do you want to do political intrigue or do you want to go to the Shadowfell right away?
My interest is going to Shadowfell, but also my character's interest is not to let this just go all to shit.
I mean, it could be a resource for you if you play your cards right and get the right people into power, especially if they owe you favors. But yeah, I mean, it's something to think about. Anyway, let's do MVP votes.
Fires. The weaker of the two families.
They are the underdogs, which puts them in a more likely position to bargain if they want to have power.
So
You know what? Put me in charge, boss.
we got to go around the table though and ask that same question. What do you guys want to do? So like, I want to go to Shadowfell, but I also want to solve the problem here.
Yeah, I guess I know. I think I know Barbel's response because we were kind of talking about it a little. But yeah, what do you say, Barbel?
Well, I'm actually want to do the main problem of the cataclysm, which is what I'm trying to work on.
Oh, it's a ways
But as far as the city goes, you don't want them to leave Yeah,
Well,
like Lokun, you know.
you know it's involved in opening the portal to the Shadowfell, right? Or to Nightweather, right?
Yeah, so
You need soul crystals.
yeah, exactly.
So unless you're going to become a Shadow Lord and start like destroying towns to make them, it's kind of you'd have to find
No,
another
they're
way.
going to try and steal some, or try and find another way to power it.
Yeah. Well, that would be
Well,
the
we would-
ideal solution. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just wait for Entity to make all these soul crystals, and we kill her for them.
It's true.
So, question: the soul crystal is not the thing that we have powering up the Hollow Point right now.
Yeah,
It is. It's the same thing.
Oh, we would just go back to the one that we have.
But
It's
you need
back in-
you need a lot of them to power the Nightweather Gate, like exponential amount. Like did you no? Okay, you didn't fight the dragon. Yeah, well, obviously you didn't. Okay, so yeah, you need a lot of soul crystals to power the Nightweather Gate.
So that's why Elric really wanted to kill the dragon.
Could be.
Okay.
You're not sure what Guy Vox's aims were, and now he is gone, so it's impossible to know. I think I need
So-
one more vote.
Oh, yeah, I didn't vote for him.
What about you, Vander?
I'll just
Vander has
go
no Vander has no attachment to Sick.
Vander, I
He
think.
doesn't want people to die.
I think
You want to go Shadowfell right away?
so that's what Vander wants to do. What does the player want to do, though? Like, what do you want to do as the player? Are you interested in political intrigue, or you just want to go for what your guy wants to do?
I mean, I love political intrigue, but this is not the character meant for political intrigue, so I'd rather do what he wants to do.
All right. It's,
Really? I feel like your character is the one with the charisma.
Oh, he's a paladin.
He has the political intrigue training, but he's maybe not as interested in the city of undead.
Yeah, you should see my other character. That's the political guy.
Yeah, in the afternoon game, he's playing a Blackwater.
Oh, nice.
In the they're in the first chapter though,
That's
so
cool.
they're just getting started.
Yeah, we're speedrunning it though.
Speed running it. Just
Are
running
you guys
past.
really?
No, it's not.
No.
It's actually slower. They're doing all the side quests. Because
Oh.
I've added some stuff to the first chapter since you've played.
Oh, nice.
So apparently we got to the base real quick. Not their main
Arceus?
base. Not their main base. The one where Graves is at.
I don't know if Graves was a thing when this group played originally.
Oh,
That doesn't sound familiar to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was more something I added later, because this group is quite a ways, pretty old. We're in session 87, which is like almost 2 years old now.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, Lukun's the old one here.
Yeah.
All right, so
I was
Vander,
here since session 1.
with 2 votes, you are MVP.
Oh, thank you
Nice.
guys. I
Okay.
need the inspiration back.
Get that inspiration.
Yeah. So, me, the player, wants to see some action, some battles.
Go fight stuff.
But yeah, but me, the character, probably would feel good about just bouncing.
There might be stuff to fight as well as the political intrigue, especially if, I mean, it kind of depends on how you want to handle the Mind Flayers and Elodie and a lot of the wild cards here. There's certainly a chance that you'll have to deal with them somehow.
Wait, who? So Elodie is yeah, I don't know what to do with her. But what was the other one?
The
Flayer?
Mind Flayers? Like, you know.
Oh, the Mind Flayers.
Yeah, like the Alhoon and the Ghost
We
Flayers.
might be able to pit her against the Alhoon.
Well, yeah, she's already stolen a bunch of their ghouls. So.
Right, so we might be able to pit them two against each other while the other stuff's going on.
Yeah.
It's
And
certainly
then we
possible.
sweep in and finish the rest.
Just murder Elodie.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to do.
I would also tell you, like, my character, not me as a player, my character probably would want to go back to the desert before he went to Shadowfell, if he did find a way to Shadowfell, because he would want to say goodbye to his family. Apparently, he's been on the lam for so long.
Well, you
and he
might
would
have, if you want to do something with that, maybe even spend some story points, you could maybe even gain control of the Iron Tide.
Wait, is the Iron Tide still
Wow.
around?
Yeah. Only part of them came here. There's still a faction of them back in the Nazik.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So that could be.
I mean, I have 10 story points, so.
Oh well, there you go. Maybe a side quest to the Nazik Empire.
But if I did it, like, I honestly wouldn't want to make it like a whole side quest, tell you the truth. I would want to make it kind of like a background thing that happens within the time span it would need to happen. But I wouldn't want to like it to be the actual session where we're like RPing it or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of want to explore the Nazik Empire though.
Oh, now
do?
Vander. I thought you wanted to go to Shadowfell. You're all over the place, Vander.
No, this is me as a player.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, we could do it as part of a background thing. I don't know. I'll think about it.
I want to cater to the table. Like, I really don't want to like derail it from whatever the table.
Well,
is
apparently,
doing, so.
Vander wants to go to the Nazik Empire.
Yeah,
too
let's go. We're gonna spread Paylor's light to the
savages.
savages.
To the warlord savages. Like, come worship
Dude, that'd be-
Paylor. They all just give you a dirty
be
look.
awesome.
Killing you is Paylor's mercy. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'm spreading
Vander
Paylor's
just
mercy
turns-
by murdering you.
Vander turns this into a game where you're just like playing evangelist and you're just trying to like Christianize